Hello. What's up? It's been a while. Weird lighting. I have Sack with me. He waved.
I did. I did wave.
Pache, what's up?
I haven't seen Pache in forever. He evaporated into some kind of weird mist creature. Like the one from Lost.
Headshot. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, COVID's been fun the last month. How's everyone doing though? Besides staying safe, how you doing, PBs, Pache, Headshot, all you lovely folks. We're here to talk about stuff tonight, aren't we, Sack?
We are not. No. We're going to stare awkwardly into the camera for 3 uninterrupted hours. Starting now.
Sorry. All right. You sneaky bastard. 9 months up. Thank you, Arsic, for the streak. I know one of the things that I haven't been doing while in my time off is shaving.
I have been unable to for a little while, so.
Yeah. You look the stash is looking good though, man. I like it.
Oh shit! Yeah, daylight savings time. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you did something out. Yeah.
Hey PBS, how's it going? Cyberpunk is broken as fuck. Discuss. I will have a full discussion on that next podcast, which is in 2 weeks, by the way, because we postponed this one twice.
Yes.
But I will have a full discussion. I almost made it. I almost got it on this one. But I'm not quite ready. I almost have 100% in that game.
That's crazy. That's fucking nuts.
Very close.
So let's get right into the recap. What's been going on in this last 6 weeks?
Content-wise, fucking nothing for me. Big old goose egg. I kind of got, more progressively burnt out in streaming over time.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, this is not fun anymore. So I decided to... I know better, because usually I'll be like, well, I'm done streaming forever. I'm retired. This time I'm like, I'm not done forever. Let's be honest. That's not happening. So I'm just going to take an indefinite amount of time off. We'll see what happens. So then I take 2 weeks off, and then the later topic that we'll get to that I've just written as Vacation Tent arrives, and I will tell everyone about Vacation Tent. But I just came back 2 weeks ago, although I've been streaming a lot less because that's kind of my goal, is to reduce my stream time just in general. So we've been doing 1 day Kingdom Hearts and 1 day viewer request Digital Devil Saga. So it's going pretty good. I missed the Kingdom Hearts stream last night, but I'm planning to do it probably tomorrow, just because Arsic went live and he was like, Persona 5, and I'm like, well...
Well, also thanks for all the beard comments, everyone. I've been really trying.
Yeah.
I look like the guy from was it the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Axeman guy. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but I feel like that guy.
Yes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I have seen that recently.
So yeah, I've been up to a lot of things in the last almost 2 months now. Yeah, basically been 6 weeks. Yeah. I've been working a lot. Unfortunately, going back to my other job, we were very short-staffed, so I had to pick up that slack a little bit. So that's why I've been kind of MIA for a little bit. So I'm just gonna get right into the state of the channel, well, my channel, at least. So I'm not quitting. I don't want anyone to think that I'm quitting. I just I'm taking some time off because of work. I have a new relationship and stuff like that, so I'm trying to do a lot of things right now. When it comes to YouTube stuff, I took a step back from that as well. There are a couple things that I'm working on right now with Tom and with myself. Been playing a lot of guitar and stuff lately, so I'm working on some music. So stuff is happening. It's just happening a lot slower than I originally told everyone it's gonna happen. Just because life gets in the way sometimes, it happens. But I'm not gone. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm still doing my other podcast every week too. Just making life keep on keeping on. Hell yeah. Um, but I plan on coming back after the new year, at least 3 times a week, streaming wise. We are gonna start the JRPG stuff in January, and that'll go on for 3 or 4 months. We'll just do nothing but JRPGs. We'll do like different quarters every week, and Sundays I'll do like a random day or something like that. I'm still trying to figure out those details and stuff like that. The good thing is I actually do my own schedule, so I'm gonna plan stuff around when I have time off and stuff like that, and so I have time for the girlfriend and kid and all that other stuff too, because I don't want to lose out on that. So I'm not gone. I'm just taking an extended hiatus.
And indefinite break, perhaps. Yeah. Similar to the one I got off of.
Yeah, well, which it sucks because there's nights where I'm like, I really just want to stream and like hang out with people, but I've just been working on a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of other stuff going on in my personal life too. That's kind of like stopped me from doing that, but I'm coming back January. Check Twitter for updates on that and stupid dad jokes. But yeah, I'm not gone.
Okay, well, good to know. Yeah, it's weird. It's like everyone like simultaneously was like, ugh, November. No streaming in November.
No. I should. Funny that you said that because I was actually going to change my Twitter handle to No Stream November.
That's what it felt like. Yeah. It felt like I don't even think it was just us. I think a bunch of people kind of dropped off in November.
Yeah. It happens, especially during the holidays too. Like the holidays are crazy. Depending on where you work and stuff like that too. Like my job is super. Like I mandatory have to work 6 days a week for like 6 weeks. Because I'm salary and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. But it's like it'll be over next week is my last week. So no. I actually participated in that too. It was really funny. I did a lot of no's. I did No Shave November too.
Go on.
So
we need to hear this full stuff. No, hang on. This wasn't on the itinerary, but it is now. I'm adding it.
It's part of the recap, right? It is now. Which part? The no nut and the no shave?
John.
Okay. So no nut November. I had just started dating my girlfriend Megan at the end of October. So I thought it would be a funny idea to participate in No Nut November. Mostly because, it's a new relationship. I just don't want to like rush into it, like, sex and stuff like that. And because I like to commit to the bit. So the entire month of November, I avoided all sexual contact. Which was kind of funny because she's like, "Do you not like me?" I'm like, "No, I do, but I have commitments."
My commitments to a meme.
Basically, yeah. All I can say is that my hair is looking fabulous. Hell yeah. So I did that, and come December 4th, we stopped doing November.
Oh shit! I'm picturing just like a comical pink hentai aphrodisiac and just an actual just like chum bucket of oysters.
Come December. Yeah, that was unintentional, but I see what I did there. It was
just like graphic. Like an actual like tin bucket just full of oysters.
Yeah, Mass Effect. Well, bang. Okay, yeah.
She walks through the door. There's just like pink candles everywhere.
But so
Barry Manilow plays.
Barry Manilow. I believe it was DMX. Where the hood at?
Oh shit!
A callback to last episode. So there we go.
Yes. I too can only come to confused sexuality.
I'm glad it's not just me. But yeah, so that's what's been going on in my neck of the woods. So let's move on to the next one, which is vacation tent.
Vacation tent. Yes, the story.
Oop.
So, nope.
Oh.
No, that was the wrong one.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, you got it?
Got it. Okay.
All right. By the way, I made sure that image is public domain because I'm cautious like that shit.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I found out about 3 or so months ago that my house had a bunch of fucking termites in it. And it couldn't be gotten rid of by just like shoving shit in the walls. I had to tent it. So it was like, well, this is gonna suck. But I didn't want to like say when I was doing it for safety reasons. So it's already done now. But yeah, so I had to like shove a bunch of shit in bags. It was a whole fucking thing. But the real story is that, like, first off, did you know there's like a decent chance of having your house broken into while it's being tented for termites?
You know, that makes sense, but I don't like that.
Because all of your doors and windows are open and unlocked. And all you have to do is get like a gas mask and you can like break in there. And it's usually like even more thorough. So I was super worried about that. I was panicked. None of my shit got stolen, best I can tell. And if anything got stolen, it was stuff I didn't fucking notice. So it couldn't have been that important.
The burglar came in and just stole all your batteries.
Yo.
I'm looking buff. I don't know if that and buff are the same thing, but
nope, I found my batteries.
Okay. I'm just saying, if I saw someone's house like that, I would just go in and take random shit like that, like their toothbrush. Yeah. Like shit that like they'd be like, why?
Well, I brought my toothbrush because
I would leave it. I would leave a toothbrush then to confuse even more.
That would be weird.
Just like leave a toothbrush.
Reverse break-in. You come in. There's just like there's a new TV. It's just they took your old TV. They didn't get rid of it. They just moved it off to the side and replaced it with a bigger one.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a new Xbox. Also,
leave shit. Oh, this is a nice burglar.
Yeah,
a nice guy. Yeah, that's basically what Santa does. Yeah, you're right.
Like the Santa burglar that only strikes when you're tending your house. Yeah. But in reality, it was put there by Amazon, and they have listening devices inside of everything, and they're listening to everything you're doing.
Perfect. I'm not scared at all.
You should be.
I am. I actually ordered like 90% of my Christmas gifts on Amazon.
So did I. But
convenient.
But all I'm saying is Amazon, you gotta watch them. Wasn't it Google that made like an island specifically to like house all their bullshit databases?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that was fine. Didn't get anything stolen, best I can tell. And if they did, I don't know why they stole it, because they left everything that was expensive. And I went to a hotel by the beach, and this was it was a cheap hotel. The shittiest fucking hotel I think I've ever been in my goddamn life. I went in there, I'm like, alright, I'm not going to go to the beach, because that's, dangerous, and we got a virus around, and I don't want to catch no virus.
Fair enough.
But there's a pool, and I was like, I'm going to get in such a fucking pool workout. I was so excited about this fucking pool workout. I was gonna swim all day, all night. I was gonna get ripped. It was gonna be great. So I get there, and it turns out that it's the coldest fucking day of the year. Like, actually, it is the coldest day of the entire year. Even so far, we have not had a colder day. It's fucking frigid. You can't go outside because it's so fucking cold. The water is an ice cube. And I'm like, okay, well that sucks. Guess I'm stuck inside all day. So I played a bunch of like Bravely Second. I'll talk about that probably maybe next stream or something. Maybe not, actually, who knows. Because I'm not done with that game yet either. But here's the here's the icing on the cake, though, is this hotel is so shitty. All the pillows are fucking lumpy. The bed, I guess, there's like so many springs. I don't understand what I was laying on. I almost think the floor would have been more comfortable. It was awful. The pillows were as hard as rocks, like actual rocks. It was terrible. The like TV remote, there was like a TV remote provided. It was like covered in like gross bullshit. It was so nasty. But the like absolute kicker, oh my god, the toilet was so low to the ground.
Ooh,
like,
I hate that.
It was like a toddler toilet. It was like absurdly low to the ground. And can you take the context menu from it for
Oh, whoops, my bad. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna grab it. Yeah.
Take a bite out of it.
So remember, this is the coldest day of the year, right? There was no hot water.
Oh, perfect.
It was worse than that, because you turn on the hot water to this hotel and it's somehow colder than the cold water. Like, if you shove your hands into this fucking water, your hands will go numb. I'm not even joking. It was so cold. Your hands turn numb by being in it.
That's crazy.
It was so awful. The McDonald's nearby was so shitty, they only served like 3 things.
They had like the McRib, the fish fillet, and like half of a Big Mac.
So I ended up getting the same thing a bunch of times, which I would have done anyway. Sounds like a field shower. Those are awesome. I'm not entirely certain what I don't use hot water when I shower, but like I would have gotten hypothermia from this fucking. So I just couldn't shower for those 3 days.
That sounds awful.
I was legitimately worried about getting hypothermia. It was so cold. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so I just played like Bravely Second, and I got like some alcohol, and I drank like some Four Locos, which are terrible.
Yeah, oh god,
They're so bad. Hypothermia, not hyperthermia. That would be weird though, if you get hyperthermia. But yeah, no. So I had some Four Locos. They were terrible, and I just lounged around. It was not great. It was not a great experience. So then I get back to the house, and it's early in the morning, and the company is like, "You're good. Your house is depoisoned," and I'm like, "That's great. That's fucking hot. I love it." So which is weird. Like, they were so fast. They only tented it for like a day, and it was like, you showed up at the hotel, they tent it, and then the next day it's like, we're done tenting it, come back, and it's like, that seems fast. So a shower in tepid water, too hot or too cold, is bad for your skin. Yeah, I shower in cold water, but I don't shower in ice. So, so you get back, and it's like, it's depoisoned, and then within like minutes of getting back, like, there's a weird scent in the air, and my eyes start burning. So I open all the doors and windows, and I'm like, okay, I gotta get this shit vented out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I give it a while, and it's like, I leave the doors and windows open. You know, I watch the shit for the whole day, and then I try and like close it down, and it's still so bad. It's still like burning and stinging and shit, and like it becomes hard to breathe at one point. So I'm like, okay, there's clearly still fucking poison in my house, right? So I spend that night in the car. And so the next day I try and like go back to the house, and I open that shit out, and I try and vent it, and I get a fan to like blow the shitting air out of the windows, to like try and like depoison the fucking building, and, you know, like turn on the fans and try and get that all vented out. And after a while, like just being near it, I almost like lose fucking consciousness.
Jesus.
Like I almost pass out. So I'm like, okay, this is the fucking worst. What is this? So I go on the internet and I look up the symptoms, and I have like so many fucking symptoms for sulfuryl fluoride poisoning. So I fucking call poison control. And poison control is like, yeah, you do have a lot of symptoms for sulfuryl fluoride poisoning. Here's what you do. Open all your doors and windows. Try and vent that shit out. Try and get some fresh air. Don't worry about it too much. You're probably going to be okay. And I'm like, all right, thank you, poison control. You're the bestest. And they're like, oh yeah, try and get in contact with the fumigation company, which I did try, but they didn't fucking answer my messages. So after about a day or so, it seems like most of the like fumes like get caught out, like kicked out, and I get a follow up from poison control, and they're like, "Hey, you dead?" And I'm like, "I'm not dead. Thanks for asking." And then on Monday, this was like a week or two ago. On Monday, I get in contact with fucking poison with the bug company, and I'm like, "Hey, you left a bunch of fucking poison in my house. You should probably check your equipment or your procedures." I almost passed out, and the bug company is like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That wasn't the sulfuryl fluoride. That was definitely out of your house." And I'm like, "Okay, what? No, it definitely was. I was definitely poisoned. I had all the symptoms." And they're like, "No, don't worry. That was the tear gas."
Don't worry.
The tear gas? Yeah, the tear gas. We put tear gas in your house.
That doesn't make any sense.
What? Why? Why did you put tear gas?
To make the bugs so depressed that they would just kill themselves.
We put the tear gas in the house after the sulfuryl fluoride to scare away anything that might have survived the sulfuryl fluoride. Okay, all right. You didn't think to fucking tell me about the goddamn tear gas? We don't tell people about tear gas. You should. Why not? Oh, because not everyone is affected by the tear gas, so we just don't mention it. Okay. Maybe tell people about the fucking tear gas. Oh, so that was the tenting story. So that was fucking awful. And I could finally get back into my house. So I wasn't in a shitty hotel with like frozen water, and I was back in my nice warm house that had most of the poison and tear gas vented out of it. And I'm like, great. So then a news story comes up. Right as I finally get the ability to re-enter my house. Guess what?
What?
City water main broke.
Of course.
The water is now infected with horrible bacteria. No using water for you.
Love you, Blaze. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, so then my water turned poison. for like 3 days. My fucking water became poison. So for like 2 weeks, I was a filthy fucking hobo.
Thank you for that prime sub, bud. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, that's the fucking vacation tent story. It was a nightmare. And luckily, the poison's gone. I'm back. Nothing was stolen, and my water's working again. And I just look grumpy because I haven't had time to shave, not because my water's still poison.
Well, that sounds like a whole bunch of... It's just tear gas, don't worry.
It's just tear gas. Don't worry. We just threw tear gas into your house.
Don't worry.
Oh, shit.
So, side note, before we move on, I am getting a room soon. So I'm going to be changing up the setup and stuff like that, too, for when I come back. That won't be happening until February. But I'm getting a whole new setup and hopefully some new equipment and stuff, too. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Mention of that still making me think I should get a fucking green screen. Just throw the Velvet Room in back.
It's like $20. My green screen was. It was like $20. Worth it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna.
But then I need like a lamp for a backlight because my light comes from behind me. So I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which Velvet Room? Yeah, that's a really good question. I'd lean towards the one from 3 or 4. So, probably. My camera's weird. I just noticed. I'm not framed properly. Okay. What the fuck did I just look at? Oh, that's...
I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's not right.
That's not right?
I screwed up something.
That sex mirror is not right?
I just screwed it up. Nope. Nope. Why isn't that one going away? Why does it go away? Why does it go away? Well, that's fun. So our next topic.
Oh, yes, they are blue blockers, yes.
Oh, yeah. That's I got, hold on. All right. Sorry about that. It's stupid. Oh, shit. Hold on. No, go away.
Well, I can take this opportunity to read some chat.
Okay. There we go. Oh, okay. So next time.
Oh, you're good? Oh, fuck you, chat. I'll never read you.
Let's see. Which velvet room are those blue blockers? Yes, they are blue blockers. 10 cam. So, Phasmophobia. I've been playing a lot of this in the last month. A couple buddies. Everyone might know Diablo, frequent friend of the channel. Him and I have been playing a lot of this game with a couple of our other of our buddies, and boys, it's spooky. You play with a couple people. I played the guy in the van because I'm too chicken shit to go in the house. Because the first time I went into a house, I died. It was scary. I don't like the scaries. But fun game. I recommend it for friends, family, children maybe. If you want to scare the shit out of a kid, absolutely throw them at your computer chair and just pop on some headphones and tell them to play. Fuck you, Ghost, come at me, bro. I don't really have that much to say to that. It's a lot of fun. You know, you hunt ghosts.
That was the end of my review.
Yeah, you know, you hunt ghosts, okay, and you get money for said hunts.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it. It's kind of like you're like a ghost hunter from like a ghost hunter show, but not one of the fun ghost hunters.
Yeah.
But like one of the unfun ghost hunters. But then a ghost actually shows up, and you're like, oh no, and then you get ghost murdered. Seems like Pacha keeps trying to get me to play it, and I am not super interested in spending $20 on it. But
yeah, I think I bought it when it was 30. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh. See, that's more.
Yeah, sponsor. I wish.
30 is more than 20.
I mentioned it
once. Keith mentioned it like twice.
Pache, I'll play with you, Pache.
Maybe 3 times. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. It looks okay, I think.
It's fun with a group of people.
I saw the HoloLive EN girls play it, and that's about it.
Yeah. It's fun when you got a solid group, you know. But I'd recommend it if you're looking for something new to play and you like the spookies. It also supports VR too, and I hear it's like very crazy in VR. So
did it get you immersed into that ghost taint?
It got me immersed in that ghost taint, all right.
Mary Wallace.
All right, let's move on to the next one, which is your topic.
It is my topic because I've played 3 of the almost exact same game in the past 2 months. Nope, there you go.
Got it.
There you go.
I did it.
I love how you're like, I'm gonna set this stream up for hotkeys. It's gonna be so smooth. Every single one has been wrong.
I keep on forgetting which one's which.
I know. I could have just arranged it so that the one you start in, like, it just goes down a line. So you go blip, 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 blip.
See, that was my initial thing.
Uh-huh. But then you instead did what?
The exact opposite.
You just put them randomly?
Yeah. Well, I think I got it down now. Now that I'm looking at it, I can figure out which one's which.
Solid plan. Okay, Outer Worlds. Yeah, so I've played basically 3 of the exact same game recently. I played Outer Worlds, Fallout 3, and Cyberpunk. But we'll talk about Cyberpunk next month. But yeah, Outer Worlds is, I want to say Obsidian, right? The original Fallout creators.
Correct, yeah. Fallout Vegas. Yeah, New Vegas, yeah. Yeah, they did New Vegas, right? I think it was someone else. No, it's Obsidian, yeah. Zach, I can't hear you. Hold on. Your audio just like cut out.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay. All right.
I just gotta fix you.
You'll never fix me.
I did it.
I'm broken for life, boy.
All right, so well, yeah,
Spearboard for life, boy. That's a joke no one gets but me.
Got it.
So yeah, they did. They were Obsidian. They made, I believe, the original Fallout and New Vegas. John, yes, they made New Vegas.
Okay.
They made it. They made that. But they also, I believe, did Fallout 1 and 2, and I think Tyranny, which is definitely a good game. But yeah, hey, Bones here. Hi, Bone. So this takes place. You are one of humanity's. You're supposed to be one of humanity's best, but all of the jobs you choose at the beginning of the game are inconsequential, and almost none of them actually do anything meaningful. So you're basically like the expendable janitor of the ship you were sent on. But it was supposed to be humanity's best, sent to colonize a new star system. You get fucking frozen in time for 70 years before basically the doctor, like Doc Brown from fucking Back to the Future, wakes you up. And he's like, hey, we need your help getting a chemical to save the rest of the colonists. And you're like, swagadocious. I'm on that shit. Oh, I beat Outer Worlds twice, actually. I will talk about both playthroughs, though.
Hell yeah.
The first one, I wanted to play a sort of angelic messiah figure that makes everything better everywhere she goes, and makes all the friends and gets all the best endings. And what I will say about Outer Worlds is that the first level you go to is super tightly designed. One of the just as a general hit for any like game designers out there with like quest systems, one of the best things you can do with a quest system is design it so that your quests daisy chain off of each other, so that going into proximity to one quest marker will bring you into proximity for other side quests.
Yeah.
So that and that one quest leads to another, so it all ties together. And I have to say, like, the opening level of Outer Worlds is a fucking you could teach a fucking you could have, I wouldn't say you could teach a class on it, but you could have an entire like college like session class day dedicated to that the level design of the first area. It was so tightly crafted, everything neatly wove into each other, bouncing off of one plot point to the next plot point to the next plot point. Like, you go into the city because you have to go into the city in order to like get your ship off the ground, and you encounter an NPC who's like, hey, I need you to get this grave marker, and you collect these like grave fees, and that takes you to this other guy who's like, I need you to kill this fucking robot. And then as you progress, you have to go into like a fusion reactor, and you find out that the guy that was saying that the robots are going to have an uprising and kill everyone used to work at this fusion reactor where the robots went crazy and killed everyone. And you can do his quest marker there, and it's also like you go into that building as part of the main quest. So the side quests not only tie into each other from checkpoints made by the main quest, but they also tie into each other. But they also like tie back into the main quest so that all of the points converge. It is absolutely fucking beautiful how they did that. And the first level is super tight. And if the entire game was as good as the opening of that game, it would be absolutely phenomenal. It would be probably one of the best games ever made. Unfortunately, Outer Worlds does not actually maintain that level of quality the entire way through. But it is a solid experience. You end up getting two party members right at the beginning of the game, an engineer named Parvati, and an engineer and a hacker / priest named Vicar Max. And part of the problem with Outer Worlds is these two characters, because they're great, but they're also the best characters. Like mechanically, like Parvati increases like to like skill you won't use almost constantly, like science and engineering, and Vicar Max increases your hacking. And this is stuff you're going to be using almost the entire game, because if you have points in leadership, then your squad members increase your skills. And Outer Worlds does not have enough skill points to actually viably put your stat arrangement how you want. So yeah, because you barely get any skill points. I think it's like 10 per level up, and the game caps at like level 30. So if you want to have high enough stats, you kind of have to use your party members to get them. And so, like, mechanically, these two will stay in your party the entire game for practicality reasons, but also they're the best written and best developed of the party members. So even though you get other party members, I felt like I had to force myself to use the other party members, because the first two you get are so much better than everyone in every level. Like, they're more interesting, they have more dialogues, they have more quests related to them, they have better arcs, they're mechanically superior. So they're kind of broken in that regard, but there are other party members you get later. One of which you get on the planet called Monarch, who you get so late in the game that even though I did her full quest line, I know nothing about her, and she's not relevant, I don't care about her, I don't even remember her fucking name anymore. But the planet of Monarch, I think, is actually where Outer Worlds kind of goes to shit, because it makes the classic video game mistake of building wide instead of tall.
Yeah.
So when you get to Monarch, all of a sudden, the game opens up and it's this huge map, but there's fucking nothing there other than acid pits and monsters. And the quests still daisy chain off of each other, but the game's flow gets broken up a lot more because the distance between the quest markers is so great, and there's so much nothing in between that you end up not being able to get as much of a feel for the story as much. And even then, it feels like, even though you're constantly progressing the plot of the game past the initial levels of the game, it kind of feels like everything in between is just filler, and that you're just stumbling through checkpoints until eventually the game's over. And you're like, oh, I feel like I didn't earn it, though. I feel like I didn't do anything. I feel like it was just starting. Mm-hmm. So it definitely felt like Outer Worlds had more to go. And I did a very thorough playthrough of Outer Worlds, by the way, with my first playthrough. I think I was it's actually a fairly short game, by the way. It was only 40, 50 hours. But I would say 98% completion, something like that. I didn't do one quest where you have to collect a bunch of clothes for a fashion designer lady, but that was intentional, because I didn't want to. It sounded awful. But that is actually the only quest I did not do in the entire game. Was the one where you just collect clothing. So I didn't do the DLC because I didn't want to pay $18 for what I have seen is a 3 to 5 hour DLC. It just sounds like too much. 40 to 50 hours is long by a game by industry standards. So by industry standards, yes, but by RPGs, it's kind of on the lower side.
Yeah.
And it probably would have been noticeable if the 40 hours was a tighter experience all the way through. But once you leave Groundbreaker and you arrive on Monarch, it definitely feels like the game starts dragging on. But it is by no means a bad game, and I did get the good ending. Which is also part of the problem with the game, is how you get the good ending, which all you have to do to get the good ending is save Phineas Wells at the end. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So then I restarted with another character who technically accidentally deleted my first 3 characters, but it's fine. His name was Max Chopper. Max Chopper was the exact opposite of my original character. The idea with Max Chopper was I wanted to see how far you could get in the game if you put all your points into machete and you killed everyone with a machete.
All right.
Everyone in the entire game with a machete. Because unlike things like Skyrim or something, there weren't essential NPCs. Everyone could be killed. So I killed everyone with a machete. I walked into town. I saw a guy. He's like, hey, do you want to take this quest? And I'm like, no, but I want to stab you with a machete. And so I cleared out the entire city and all of the surrounding environments, and I just emptied the world. And the answer is, you can beat the game like that. You can beat the game by literally killing actually everyone. There is no point where the game breaks because you have murdered someone. There is always a workaround, which is interesting, but it also highlights one of the biggest issues with the game. Because with everyone dead in the entire world, do you want to guess what fucking ending I got for Outer Worlds?
The good
with
ending.
Max Chopper. The good ending, where you still say Phineas Wells. Exactly. Because they give you an invitation and they're like, hey, I like the cut of your jib killing all those farmers back on level 1. You want to come work for me? So I come work for her, and then I fucking stab her in the face the second I get to see her. I agree to it just so I can stab her. But then that locks you into the good ending. Just the act of not taking that quest right there at the end locks you into the good ending. And when you get to the end of the game and you have to save Phineas Wells, he like comes out of a room at one point, and I won't get into too much details, but I was attempting to do the secret ending from Dark Souls 3, basically, where you take advantage of like a brief lag between when you're given control of your character and when you're not, to just stab him in the fucking head with the machete. I'm not sure if you're aware of the secret Dark Souls 3 ending where you stab the Firekeeper in the head with a machete, but it exists. But yeah, I tried to stab him in the head with a machete. Second the door opens, they lock you out of actions, and you're forced into the dialogue. So I ended up getting the good ending, and there is literally no one alive. Like, it's like, and Max Chopper has saved the colony and is a hero to all. And then it like pans to everything else you did, and it's like, and there was no one in here, or here, or here. Everyone in here was dead. You killed everyone here. The colony is saved, and you're a hero. Yay!
Whatever you fancy, really. Exactly.
So yeah, it kind of falls apart in like the lower middle part of the game. But Outer Worlds is genuinely good experience. Would give it a thumbs up recommendation.
I started playing it. I didn't get super. I think I got to the second planet or some shit. I don't remember. I started it a long.
The big one, Monarch, where it goes to shit.
I can't
or Rose Water.
I do want to eventually go back to it and play it, but
yeah, I mean, it's a good game. I would recommend it. It's just not a perfect game. Oh, I will say though, it feels so good to move in that game, like running and shooting and like just zipping around the levels. It feels good. It plays very well.
That's good though. I like to hear that.
Yeah, it plays so well that I'm like, man, I almost want to do a speed run of this game because it feels that good. So
yeah, there's a couple games that I played during the break, that like I played for a little bit and then I just didn't get super into. That's why I'm not gonna really talk about them. But yeah,
I was gonna say, did you want to on base PS4 not so much? Oh well, I play everything on PC, so. Perfect game has never been made, probably not. Well, no, yeah, probably not.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Pache, because Mega Man X2 is the perfect game.
Nailed it. Yeah, so you don't want to talk about any of that, because we could use a break before I go on another long video game review rant, because I fucked up the schedule, because I thought, yeah.
I mean, I'll talk about a couple of them. Yeah, hold on. Let's go to... There we go. So I played, a couple games during the break. Nothing too fancy. I played Greedfall because it was a free game on Xbox. Not great. It was kind of boring. Combat is terrible. I always pick magic users too, and I picked the magic user and regretted it because it just sucks. Boring, awful game. I also went back to Avengers because they had the update with the new character in it.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, the game is a lot better now. So anyone still kind of like iffy on checking that out, definitely go to give it another try. Kate Bishop does play very well. She's pretty fun. I didn't think I'd like her, but yeah, I was like, I'll give it a shot. Get it done. But yeah, what else did I play? I started playing recently a game called Monster Sanctuary. It's kind of a mix between like Metroid and Pokemon. Like you have like,
heard of it.
Yeah, it just came out like a week or two ago, something like that.
I've never heard of it.
But it plays like a Metroidvania. But but you collect monsters at the same time, so it's kind of like a mixture of Pokemon too, and you like level them up, they have like skill trees instead of like moves and stuff like that. Pache, I'm not sure. I didn't check any of the online stuff up. For that, I always just play solo. They probably do because a lot of people did drop off it, but I went back and played it anyways. But yeah, Monster Sanctuary, whatever it's called. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. I'm not sure how much it costs, but it's free on Game Pass right now. If you have a Xbox Game Pass for PC, and I'm not sure if it's on PC, so don't quote me on that. But it is on console. If you want to check it out, it's pretty fun. Other than that, I mean, I didn't play too many games. I played a couple rounds of Mario Kart here and there. I played some other games, but I'm not going to talk about them because it's other stuff I'm working on. So no spoilers.
It's $20 on Steam.
20 on Steam, okay. Game Pass, yeah. If you have Xbox, Bone. I think that's just about it. I mean, I started playing Skyrim again too. I started that a couple days ago.
Bad decision.
Yeah.
Play a good Elder Scrolls like Oblivion or possibly Morrowind if you can get it working.
I was going to play Oblivion, but I don't know. I was like, I really just want Macho Man Randy Savage Dragons.
That is fair. That is fair. You
Skyrim.
can mod Skyrim.
Yeah.
I mean, you can mod Oblivion, but you can really mod the shit out of Skyrim.
You really can, yeah.
That's why I actually think a lot of people say that Skyrim is their favorite game. Is it's like, especially when you like hear the reasons, it's like, oh man, here's why Skyrim's the favorite game. It plays so good with this and this and this mod, and I'm like, so what you're saying is Skyrim is a terrible game and you fixed it? Because Skyrim is a terrible game and you fixed it. It's like every time you ever hear someone say Skyrim is a great game, it's always followed by, oh, if you don't like Skyrim, try these mods. So it has good mods, then, is what you're saying.
It has great mods. It has some of the best mods. Like the Thomas Tank Engine one? Oh, God.
It probably has one of, if not the great... No, I'm willing to say Skyrim probably has the best modding community.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
The only thing like close to that is probably like Sims 2. Sims 2 might be ahead, but like those two are like super close together at like how much effort people have put into modding those two games. But yeah, Skyrim's fucking terrible. So
I definitely recommend it, Bone. Modding makes Skyrim like a whole different game sometimes. And there's some funny ass shit you can do with it too.
You can literally make it a game that isn't terrible.
That too.
You can make it a not terrible game if you put mods into it.
I sincerely share controversy too, though. Yeah, that's...
I'm not aware of it, but I do know it has an absurd modding community, probably surpassing Skyrim.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's still active to this day, the community for Sims 2.
Yeah, that's basically all I played in like last month. I'm sure I'm missing something.
Oh, you're on console, right. Yeah, no, yeah. Fair enough. On the mods, then. Alright, yeah, Skyrim. Sorry, I kind of cut you off to talk about how bad it was.
No, that's fair. Alright, so let's go into the next one, which is yours.
Fallout 3. Yeah, I used to love that game as a kid, but I was like... whenever I talked about like how great Fallout 3 was, I was always like, I haven't played Fallout 3, though, in like 10 years. Is it really that good, you know? Or am I just being like nostalgic about it?
I have no idea what that is.
Mod packs? Or nostalgic?
Nostalgia.
You don't know what nostalgia is?
I've never experienced it in my life.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Are you fucking with me? Okay.
That's my whole shtick. Yeah. Nostalgia is my stick.
Yeah, I fucking dug into your joke. I was like, no, hang on, I genuinely can't tell.
Wait a minute,
because I'm still looking at your webcam on a lag right now, so I couldn't like see facial expressions or anything. You're like, Yeah, nostalgia is my fucking. I've never had nostalgia. What the fuck's nostalgia? Well, I didn't know if you like. I didn't know if you were talking about like I've never had nostalgia, as in like the experience of nostalgia, like the emotion of it.
Oh no,
Uh,
I get an emotion all the time.
okay, yeah, like I mean, like I know you play a lot of like retro games, but that doesn't necessarily translate into the feeling of nostalgia.
That is true. I get that feeling when I play a lot of these games, though. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Okay. All right.
follow three.
Fun fact: I learned the word nostalgia watching the first Naruto Shippuden episode, which I actually watched when it was broadcast, or as close to broadcast as you could. And Naruto says the word nostalgic 300 fucking times.
Damn.
And if you go back and watch the episode in subs, and he does not say the episode 300 fucking times, please remember this was the original broadcast of Naruto Shippuden, and I am an old man, and therefore this was not the official translation of Naruto Shippuden.
It's my job, headshot. It's my job. I troll.
But anyway, yeah. So I was like, so am I just nostalgic, or is this actually a great game? And Pache assured me that you could get this game running on PC. And in his defense, he was right. You totally can. It actually did not take that much effort. I did manage to boot it up even without Games with Windows Live using a workaround, and it played okay until it crashed constantly. And I'm like, well, fuck. This sucks. And then eventually I did more research and I managed to get it to stop crashing constantly, and then it crashed I think like once every like 5, maybe 10 or so hours. So it if you do enough work with Fallout 3, even though it's designed for like Windows XP, you actually can get the fucking game working and it'll play totally fine. But as for the game itself, Fallout 3 is actually as good as I fucking remember it. I cannot believe I am saying this, but it is genuinely a great fucking game.
Besides New Vegas, it is considered the best one.
And here's my response to this. Fallout 3 is definitely better than New Vegas. And that is not nostalgia talking, and I assure you of this, because I played New Vegas, like, within the past 3 or 4 months. For, like, the first time. And I have played fucking Fallout 3 last month, and I am confident Fallout 3 is a better game than New Vegas, and I am willing to back this up. I have a fucking checklist, but I'm only going to bring it up if I need to. Fallout 3 is actually better than New Vegas. Get fucked, New Vegas. But let me talk about some of the things that Fallout 3 that makes it so good, so that I don't have to have a discussion about why Fallout 3 is so good. One of the things that Fallout 3 does that makes it so good is, you know how I talked about Outer Worlds and it's New Vegas? New Vegas was made in 6 months. New Vegas is impressive for the amount of time they were given. Bethesda really did fuck them over. That is true. Is Outer Worlds daisy chains its quest lines together. Fallout 3 also daisy chains its quest lines together, though not as well or as tight as Outer Worlds does. I will definitely say that. But going to one quest marker will lead you to another quest marker and to another one, and you can branch out in a sort of spiderweb pattern. But what makes Fallout 3 such a good game is the world design, actually. Like, the second you, like, leave the vault, you're, like, instantly placed, your camera is placed right into the area to head towards the school and the sign directing you to Megaton, which you've already had from a previous discussion that, hey, you have to go to Megaton. So, and even then, even if you don't remember it, you're still probably going to go the direction you were facing initially, which will still take you to the first town of the game where you can investigate your dad. All of the towns in the game have long histories. If you do enough research, you can find out how they were founded, when they were founded, why they were founded, sometimes even who actually founded them. They do answer the question of what the fuck do people eat. You just need to actually talk to people. They don't have, like, large farms, which some might consider that a minus, but it's generally considered that the soil in the capital is too irradiated to use for actual farming. But yeah, so the towns are like super in Brahmin. They eat Brahmin. A lot of the farms use hydroponics. There's a lot of trading and eating Mirelurks. Lurks is also incredibly common. So they do answer the food question. And they do answer the question of why those specific areas are inhabited as well. But yeah, there's more than one way to solve quests. There's like a myriad of ways, which is something I hear people like praise New Vegas for. And I just want to say Fallout 3 has that in spades as well. Like, even though you might have like certain quest markers, you can circumnavigate them and solve quests in your own way. There are stat-related dialogue options, which I believe Fallout 3 does this more frequently and better than fucking New Vegas, where it feels like your stat allocations actually matter because they come up almost constantly, and you can always add your like little inputs on like why this matters or why that matters, which will unlock new options throughout the game. But like, what makes what makes out Fallout 3 even better? They are both good games. I don't really like New Vegas, but there are a lot of comparisons between that, which is why I am bringing it up, and they're both Fallout games. One of the things that make Fallout 3 so good, though, is it has a large like map, and that's usually a bad thing, because it usually means that your world is empty. But in Fallout 3, it's the opposite. It's like every point in the map has something to do there, some like bit of care or thing you could investigate. Like, you could pick a random direction in Fallout 3, and I did this at one point, and I picked a random direction, and you could end up in a town attacked by vampires, or you could end up in a fucking slaver cage, or you could find a town full of cannibals. Or aliens. You could just find a fucking alien spacecraft. It's like, it's not just like that the world is like big, it's that it's fucking dense. And there's quest lines all over the place that take you to other places in it that then daisy chain off of it and like foreshadow other areas. Like, you're gonna stumble on Little Big Town, and it's like, we came from Little Lamplight, and then later on you get to Little Lamplight, and you're like, hey, Little Lamplight, yeah, the Republic of Steve, that whole thing where you collect votes, but you can also rig the election. They don't tell you they can rig the election, but you can rig the election in like any fucking way you want. It's fucking great. So when you have all of like these quest markers placed everywhere that daisy chain off of each other, that you can just pick a random direction and go there, and it somehow ties back into something else that maybe you've seen or heard, and if you listen to the radio, it's like Paradise Falls or Rockopolis, and all of these are like locations you can go to and experience, and like hints at the quests you can go on and the people you can meet. It's so good, and it's so dense is what makes it like, the world feels alive and it feels real, because no matter where you go, there's something or someone to meet. And that's such a great fucking thing about Fallout 3. Is it's like the world feels real in that regard. And I another appreciate that you come to this like fucking wasteland, and there's like cities that are sprouting up, and people are trying to get their shit together, and you really in Fallout 3 help the world recover from the nuclear disaster. Like, you can like purify the water, or spread the greenery, or help the like cities get their shit together, disarm a nuclear bomb that may or may not go off at one point, kill a cult that's trying to turn people into fucking ghouls. It's fucking amazing. And then we get on to the DLC, and Broken Steel is one of the greatest fucking DLCs ever. What's this?
Did it say ghouls?
Oh. Oh
so I was being a ghoul.
I saw that 1,000 miles after you did that on the camera. But yeah, Broken Steel is one of the best pieces of DLC I've ever experienced. It expands on the ending. It like elaborates your like fight against the Enclave. It's just fucking great. The Pit is awful, and I hate it. You get sold into slavery. It's incredibly contrived. This is a character that fucking this fucking bugs me. It bugs me whenever a fucking game does this. You walk into a fucking room, and then you get beat by like 5 guys with sticks, and then you just go unconscious. I'm in full fucking power armor, and I take out armies on the regular. Why are 5 dudes with sticks knocking me out? It makes no goddamn sense. I fucking hate contrived bullshit like that. Like, when you get knocked out earlier in the game because of an Enclave flashbang, that makes 100 times more sense than just being beaten with sticks by a bunch of slavers. The only question is how many 100 years they had between bombs fall and whenever the game takes place. No one got the freaking broom and cleaned up a bit. That is a fair point.
That's a good question.
Yeah, you walk in and there's just rubble everywhere, and I'm like, all right, this is a little unrealistic. That is a bit immersion breaking. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pit is awful and I hate it. And my solution was to just shoot everyone. I literally killed everyone in the pit. Like, the first thing they do is they have a little cutscene, and I walk up behind the, like, bandit man, and I just snap his fucking neck, and I pull out a gun, and I walk outside, and I just start shooting all the fucking bandits and murdering them with machetes and shit. And I just clear out the whole fucking area of bandits. And the problem with that is that the DLC will not acknowledge that you have murdered literally everyone at any point, and it will just pretend like you're still a slave. And I'm like, there's no one to keep me here.
No one can tell me no.
Everyone's dead.
This is bullshit.
Why are we still acting like I'm enslaved? There's no one alive. It's just the slaves. The uprising is done. I've killed everyone. So the pit's fucking terrible. I remember Spaceship Mothership Zeta, I think it's called, which is supposed to be like an XCOM crossover that showed up. I remember really liking it when I was young. It's not great as an adult, let me tell you that. It's filled with a bunch of like boring bullshit mini games, and it's just like, here you are, here's a fucking spaceship. And then there's the last one, Point Lookout, where you go to, it feels like the Bayou, but it's just like a big empty map with a bunch of like dumb monsters running around it, and then you fight a brain or some bullshit. It's not great. What I will say is Broken Steel might be one of the best DLCs I've ever played. Every other DLC for Fallout 3 is fucking trash. And I can totally see why everyone says New Vegas has better DLCs, even though I only did like one New Vegas DLC and it was worse than the worst Fallout 3 DLC. But I'm willing to imagine that all of the others are way better than the one I did. There are a few things that bother me mechanically about Fallout 3, which is the fucking guns. Because when I played it the first time, I killed everyone with a sledgehammer, and that worked great. Fallout 3 is, your durability drains so fast. I think it actually drains faster on reloading your guns, and there is just not enough ammunition in the game, period, to fucking kill all of the enemies it throws at you. So your guns are constantly breaking, and you cannot shoot literally fucking anyone. And if your gun durability is too low, your character like holds up your gun, and then like they shove in the ammo, but then they just like beat it with their fucking fists, and they won't let you shoot the gun until they're done hitting their fucking gun.
Neat.
So I mean, it's by no means a perfect game. It is absolutely great in like the depth and width that the game has, but it also runs like shit. In modern hardware, the DLC is trash, and the shooting mechanics, although better than New Vegas's complete inability to hit anything, are still, I mean, they're bad. I mean, you get used to it, but I'm not gonna praise them.
That's fair.
So that was my Fallout 3. Amazing game. Play it if you can.
If you, I have it on Xbox. I haven't played it. I think I played like 25 minutes of it. That's the one in Boston, right?
No, it's in Washington D.C.
Washington D.C. Okay.
Yeah, Patches. I said new hardware, new operating system. It's an issue with games with Windows Live running on Windows 10 because it was designed for XP. That's the problem. He is right to correct me on that. Apparently, I'm still wrong. Now I want to know. It always ran like ass. Fair enough. Okay then.
I mean, to be fair, if you have a Bethesda game that's not running like ass, is it even worth playing?
Yeah. I'll talk about Cyberpunk more next month. But on my computer, runs better than fucking Skyrim.
Wonderful. Let's see. Unclear records. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm done, and it looks like our next topic is Scrubs.
Scrubs. Bop-a-doo-bop. And deep. And Scrubs. I watched every single episode of Scrubs.
I can't do this on my own. I'm no Superman.
Just immediately claimed. Yeah, I watched every single episode of Scrubs, and during my my time off, all 8 seasons. I didn't watch the 9th season because that's the one where they do the college stuff, and it's just bad. I wasn't
I didn't
expecting
know they
Scrubs.
made a 9th season.
They did. It's
Until
awful.
yeah, I was having a discussion a long time ago in like high school, and they're like, "Yeah, the 9th season of Scrubs is terrible," and I'm like, "I liked the 9th season," and my friend was like, "No one likes the
No,
ninth
nobody
season of
likes it. Yeah.
Scrubs." Where they're in college, and I'm like, I'm sorry, wait, what? I thought the 9th season was when they get married and then leave the hospital. Why did they go past that?
It makes literally no sense because it's set like I want to say like a year or two after or something like that, but it was filmed a year after the finale. Like I watched like two episodes of it, and I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it ends at season 8 as far as
yeah,
everyone is concerned.
that's exactly where it ends. Yeah, but rewatching, I haven't. God, it's been at least I want to say 8 years since I watched the entirety of this show, and boy, it's still really good.
Oh yeah.
It's still one of my top tier favorite shows. Like the
Uh,
jokes.
did you know that the janitor, I forget his name, they used to write lines for him, but then he would just disregard the scripting completely and then ad lib better lines. And toward like after like the first few seasons, he just didn't have a script
That's
at all.
hilarious.
He would just walk in and ad lib everything.
I mean, he's one of the best characters in the show, so I mean, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
They made the right choice. Yeah.
Oh, side note, I tried to watch Community a couple weeks ago. Not into it.
I watched every episode of Community. The last season is definitely not good, but it actually gets worse every season.
No. Yeah, I watched
Like,
4 episodes of it.
Season 1 is good, season 2 is better, and then people say season 3 is the best one. Sharp down climb, season 3. And I feel like that's an issue with Dan Harmon. I feel like every show I've ever seen with him starts out okay, gets better in season 2, and then he needs to stop because they immediately take a sharp drop in quality every time. It happens every time with every show I've ever seen from him.
Fair. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, Scrubs. Yeah, rewatching every episode. It took me, I want to say like three weeks to watch every single episode of all 8 seasons. I mean, they're not super long. They're only like
How many episodes are there?
I want to say like 20. There's got to be like a $150.
Okay.
Like 150 episodes, so it's not too long. But yeah, rewatching the show was fantastic because it brought me back to like when these episodes came out, and this show started in like 2001 or 2002, so I was like 11.
2001.
2001, yeah. So I was 11 when this show premiered, and I remember watching the show. I remember watching the season finale on the air too. So it was, if you want to talk about nostalgia, like this watching the show again brought back a lot of nostalgia, just like at like basically 8 years of my life watching this TV show like unfold. And every episode, like I can't think of one that I didn't like. There's not one that I was like, you know what, that episode wasn't really good. They're all pretty well crafted, even up to the finale, and the way the series ends is honestly perfect. That's why I have no idea why they did an additional season for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it's literally like from start to finish, it wraps up literally perfectly. And there's a couple things about the show that I had forgotten over the years too. So rewatching some of the episodes, I was like, oh yeah, like that I forgot that happens. Like I completely forgot. Like Mandy Moore was a character that JD dates at one point. I forgot about a couple of different things actually. I forgot Tara Reid in it. They're like some of the cameos like I just had forgotten over the years, so it was like really fun to rewatch all that stuff. It's on Amazon Prime right now, so if you have Prime, definitely go give it a watch if you like pretty good sitcoms that revolve around hospital stuff.
Mm-hmm. Season 8 ends at episode 169.
So, hey.
And yeah, Scrubs was one of my favorite shows growing up.
Hell yeah.
Probably even my favorite actual show. I fucking love the shit out of Scrubs. I'd watch it all the time. I still like remember some of the jokes from Scrubs.
Yeah.
Because it was such a good fucking joke. It was just a fucking good show. Great fond memories of it. Also, definitely recommend the delight that is Scrubs.
Yeah.
As a more modern thing, though, I haven't really watched Scrubs in a while, though, like you have. But I will sometimes watch like doctor YouTubers like talk about medical shows.
Yeah.
And like I watch a few of them. And what I generally see about Scrubs is that it's like medicinal like discussions. Like the actual medicine in it ranges from okay, not good, okay, to shaky. But what it does do really well is show what it's like to be a starting out doctor and like what you have to go through. Like I've seen like doctors like watch it and just like have flashbacks to their resident days and be like, fuck, that is exactly what it's like.
Yeah, the I would never like listen to like some of the medical dialogue and be like, maybe that's what I have, because like when it comes to shows like that, like I don't even trust a show like House, like even though there's like probably like
House is worse.
Is it worse? Okay, yeah,
it's exactly worse than Scrubs. Yeah.
So like excuse me.
Yeah, House is generally considered to be on the to be pretty bad, whereas Scrubs can get okay at times.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then again, when you watch like doctor YouTubers talk about fucking doctor shows, I've only ever seen one of them be like, that was pretty good, that was pretty close. Almost every time it's like, no. What the fuck are you talking about? There was one where the YouTuber I was watching had a fucking like conniption mid-episode where the whole thing, he just stopped to scream every time the guy did anything.
Wow. So I'll give Scrubs my 10 out of 10. Definitely watch it if you like shows like that. And you got Amazon Prime because every single episode's up there for free right now if you have Prime. So it's not free. It's kind of free.
It's like $110.
If you do the monthly, worth it.
Oh, I just pay the $110 a year because it's cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper by like $200.
Is it really?
No. It's like 50 though. It's like it's a good amount of money actually.
So yeah, Scrubs.
Yeah.
So do you want to do your next one and then we'll take a quick break, or do you want to take a break now?
Yeah, I think let's do my movie because I don't have too much to talk about the movie because I think people should watch it and I don't want to spoil this one. And also because then I think that'll... Oh, okay. Well, then we can have a little back and forth. But then I also think the point after that will be a more... Because then it's less of an abrasive hard stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Let's do it. Knives Out.
Knives Out is a mystery directed by Rian Johnson, who ruined Star Wars. You might remember him from ruining Star Wars. And it is actually really fucking good. It does an interesting genre flip midway through the movie.
It does.
Where it starts out as a sort of like classic like ace detective sort of like Clue mansion. The story takes place in what is basically the Clue mansion. They even refer to it as the Clue mansion at one point. Where they're like investigating the crime, and then it swaps genres to like the killer's perspective at one point, and it becomes a sort of like crime thriller comedy. And then at the end it swaps back to a classic ace detective murder mystery for the reveal. Rian Johnson, I almost feel like directorially was just waving his dick in my face because the movie has so much style all the way through, from like the costume design, the color design, the sets. The way he like frames the shots, like at one point the main character's like walking through the house, and then the camera changes to a phone shaky cam recorded by another character as it's happening, and I'm like, God, that's so fucking clever. Like he really went all out with like the direction of this movie. He did a fucking phenomenal job just as far as like directing the film.
I agree with that. Yeah.
The lead actor, I want to say Daniel Craig. Please don't.
Yes, it is Daniel Craig.
It is Daniel Craig. He puts on like this really thick, rich Southern accent, like that, like Foghorn Leghorn kind of accent.
Really?
Less of the like. They call him Foghorn Leghorn. That's why I was able to think of that.
Yeah.
He puts on this like really rich, like Southern, like Foghorn Leghorn accent, as opposed to the easier to actually do like hillbilly trailer park accent. He does not land it. Daniel Craig can barely do an American accent, like a Californian accent. No offense, Daniel Craig. You're a fine actor, but you didn't hit it.
To be fair, it's not as bad as Benedict Cumberbatch's Boston accent and Black Mass.
I might need to see this. He didn't like botch it completely, but
Benedict did way worse with the Boston accent. Like it's awful. If I wasn't afraid to get DMCA'd, I would play it right now for everyone.
But yeah, here's the basic mystery. I won't tell you any of the hits on this though. Basic mystery is there's a family reunion in the rich manor owner, like it's his 85th birthday party, and they find him later that night, and he has apparently slit his own throat and died. And a detective gets called in to investigate by some anonymous source who paid him for it. And he's like, well, I've got to solve this case. And that's the case. And that's about all I'm going to tell you about it. What I will say is that I called the ending completely, every point of it.
Yeah.
Except for the actual killer, but like the whole situation, I hit every, which shouldn't surprise anyone. If anyone's actually seen me play Danganronpa, I'm very good at detecting fictional crimes.
There was some very obvious points to like the what happened. It's hard to talk about without actually talking about it.
I genuinely recommend watching the film
Definitely
for people. So I don't want to. For this one, I don't want to like give away the points. But
I gave it a solid 7 out of 10 for this movie. Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I'd give it like a 9 actually.
If it wasn't so predictable, I'd give it a higher score.
Yeah. See, I don't judge things based on predictability because I can't. Because usually, if I can't predict your ending, you fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see.
Because I'm so good at like detecting fictional crimes at this point that it's more like, yeah, I got it. And whenever I don't see it, and they're like, this is how it happens. I'm not saying it's impossible for me to fuck up detecting a fictional crime. I'm just saying that every time in the past like 3 or 4 years I've seen a crime that I wasn't able to predict, the reason is because the mystery itself did something really fucking stupid that was like impossible to predict. I'm looking at you, fucking Peko Yama.
That's fair. Being on the other podcast where it's strictly just movies and ratings, I have like a different way of looking at movies now, which is pretty. The way I've been looking at things now is like through a whole different like fucking like scope and stuff like that. But there's just some things that I can't like. I can't even give some of my favorite movies like 9s and stuff like that. So I'm just looking at it. It's weird, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I still only rate based on enjoyment because I don't find like rating based on quality an actual useful metric. Because it simply does not matter to anyone at all, period. But like it's worth appreciating a well-crafted film or a well-crafted game or work of art. But on the other hand, if you don't like it, like the craftsmanship does not matter if it's not. Like if you make a really good chair, but no one ever sits on it, no one gives a fuck about your chair.
That's true. Yeah.
Is what I'm kind of saying. So I don't find that a useful metric, but I can definitely relate to and agree with like going out and reviewing things will like change because it like sets your brain to looking at things in a more critical way, and it definitely changes how you perceive content. Which is why I now go on hour-long video game rants ever since I started reviewing video games.
No, that makes sense.
Did you notice that the oldest daughter, Joni, is played by Jamie Lee Curtis? Because she does not look anything like Jamie Lee Curtis, and I was shocked when I read that in the credits.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that was Jamie Lee?
No, I couldn't recognize her. Like, even like picturing her face, I'm like, that's Jamie Lee Curtis?
Yeah, she looks...
Wow, she looks so different. Yeah.
She old.
I mean, she fucking killed it in a role. I'm just like, wow, that was Jamie Lee Curtis. I had no idea.
No, definitely go check it out. Is it still on Amazon Prime?
I don't fucking know. I got it on Netflix.
Oh, then it's okay. Because I think it was on. I think I watched it on Amazon Prime. Yeah. So if it's on Netflix, go check it out.
Yeah. Well, no, I got it from DVD Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're one of those weird guys that still do that.
Well, I have both, but I don't know. Find Knives. Look, fucking go to Redbox if you have to. Find Knives Out and watch it. you have a book report.
Yeah, that's correct. Sack segment, 20-minute rant. John segment, good, spoopy sometime. You're not wrong. That's exactly how I do things. Which is weird because like on the other one, like I go into like these like in depth like this is why I like this movie. This is why I didn't like this movie. And here I'm just like, ooh, good, play, must, Game Pass, free.
Well, that's good. It balances it. It makes it so the whole podcast isn't just like non-stop ranting.
I mean, sometimes it is, which is the good parts. Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, thank God, Zach's finally shutting up. Time for some nice." Oh, and John's segment's over. Well, that was a nice break while it lasted. What's this one? Oh, great. He's gonna talk about why Avatar's a bad movie. Cool. That's gonna last 7 hours.
Well, I need to watch it so we can. I feel like that should be something like on a new segment, on a future one where I just watch Avatar finally, and then we just rip that movie to fucking shreds.
The thing I'll say about Avatar is I watched that movie in like sophomore year of high school, and immediately after watching it, I spent an entire lunch period, like over an hour, just ranting about why it is just a garbage film to a friend who was like, "I liked Avatar," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you've chosen death, I see."
Maybe what we should do is we should do a movie commentary on it.
Well, my point is, I don't remember the movie anymore.
It easily lasts a decade. Like 10 years later, like Zach's like, and that's why I think Sigourney Weaver still has nice tits. Anyways, so we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. I gotta go to the bathroom and whatnot. But we'll be right back. We got a whole bunch more stuff to talk about still. So as always, don't go anywhere. Do not, and I repeat, do not touch that dial. Because we will be back after these messages from your sponsor, which tonight...
Sigourney Weaver's tits, which I'm going to go look at.
Yeah.
But... Next up is Marvel TV.
Marvel
so that's
TV.
Yeah.
Which I believe is this one. Yeah, hit the right one. So yeah, I don't know if anyone...
Fucking bullshit. I demand you unhit it and then hit a new one.
Why unhit it?
Because you hit the right one the first time. That's not the dynamic we have going on here.
Sorry, here. We'll do this and then... Oh. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Alright, so I don't know if anyone caught the Disney Investors Day. Was it a week ago? 2 weeks ago now?
By the way, do you have Boy and His Beast in the Google Drive?
I already put it on.
You have it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Sorry.
Yeah. So, boy, there's a lot, man. They not only did they announce movies, which I was gonna go over the movies too, but I don't think we have time for this and the movies. So I just
We have all the time in the world. Whatever.
mainly I want to talk. Oh, if we're gonna throw in the movies, I want to talk about Ant-Man 3. And
Yeah,
then,
we can go in for an hour and a half. Yeah, we're fine. Go
so,
crazy. I mean,
yeah.
maybe not too crazy. Actually, all of the topics from here on up until Dartboard are yours. So
No, that's right. Yeah.
go as long as you feel like.
I'll only talk about two movies. One, Ant-Man 3, which is called Quantumania. They're putting Kang the Conqueror finally into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is awesome. He's played by Jonathan Majors, who was in Lovecraft Country, which I haven't watched yet, but it's on my list of things to watch.
That's the guy from the future, right?
Yeah. Tony Stark's distant relative, actually. So interesting.
I don't remember if I know that or not, but I did know he was from the future.
Yeah. It's gonna be super interesting to see where they take that. Because he's a pretty top tier villain. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. And also, Fantastic Four.
Daniel Richards.
Yeah.
Those two families just like merge.
Oh, I meant Reed Richards. Sorry. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Which gets me into my next movie that I want to talk about, which is actually Fantastic Four. Finally announced, and it's directed by John Watts, the guy who's doing all the Spider-Man movies. So I have the utmost faith in this movie that it's going to be fantastic. That movie, the characters are cursed, but hopefully we'll see resurgence and see a good movie for once.
I'm gonna say something, and maybe it's just my lack of Marvel fandom. I don't think the Fantastic Four are that great to begin with, and I'm not sure there is a good movie to pull out of them.
If they get the core stuff right, there could be some good movies and then some good team ups later on.
You can probably make a good movie out of anything, but base level, I think part of the reason is they don't have a good building, a good foundation to start with. So whatever you're doing, you're building a pyramid on sand.
No, I get that, but I'm more interested to see what they do with them, considering we've had a movie back in the 2000s and another one in the 2010s, which was just awful. To see them come back again 10 years later. I'm excited to see what happens,
I think the best part about Fantastic Four is that they tend to deal with higher level cosmic threats.
Yeah.
And so even if their movie is dog shit, it'll probably be better. It'll expand the MCU cosmic.
It'll lead into more things.
It'll have a greater implication, even if the movie sucks, which I don't have high hopes for. But
I have more hope now that Spider-Man: Homecoming and Far From Home are two of the best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. Not because I like Spider-Man, but just because plot wise and everything that they've done with the character has been just fantastic so far. Dealing with the fallout from Civil War, then dealing out with the fallout from Iron Man and Far From Home. It's hands down my favorite Spider-Man to date. And I really like the way
Spider-Man's a better character than the Fantastic Four.
That's fair, yeah. But people have fucked up Spider-Man before.
You are correct.
Mark Webb. Yeah, Mark Webb.
You are correct. They have fucked up Spider-Man before.
Side note on Spider-Man, what the fuck's going on with Spider-Man 3? There's so much news, I don't know what's real. I hate it.
I hear everyone is going to be in it.
Yeah.
I hear they're trying. I think what happened is that the CW made that fucking banger of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and now Marvel's we can do that. We can make that.
No, you're right.
Yeah, CW took over Marvel's claim of the most ambitious crossover ever by actually making the most ambitious crossover ever.
They did.
So they might be trying to like do their own, and I also think they're probably trying to break off of Sony Spider-Verse
Oh
success by
yeah.
making their own like Spider-Verse. So I think they're trying to like they saw what other people did, and they're like, well, shit, we're slipping. We gotta get on this fucking train now. So
It'll
hopefully they don't go too far with it.
hopefully not. Yeah, the movie comes out in a year, so we'll see then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, back to the TV stuff. So they showed off trailers for Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision. WandaVision looks just nuts, and so does Loki. Falcon and Winter Soldier looks like the one that like it's gonna be like good, but it's not like I'm not like super pumped for.
I don't care for either of those characters.
Fair.
I also don't care for Wanda or Vision. I think they're both boring in the MCU. I think Scarlet Witch is a more interesting character in the comics, but in the MCU, she's a fucking nothing burger. And Vision has the personality of a piece of toast.
I'm hoping that this show actually fixes that because I do feel the same sentiment. But with the way things look in that show, we might actually get some like proper character development because like they were both introduced in the same movie, and then were basically like sideline characters in like a couple like MacGuffins and stuff like that. So I hope this show actually fleshes them out more, so I can actually see like the comic versions of them, like the interesting characters that they actually are. That's why
I
I'm
actually
pretty
don't
excited.
know much about Vision. I haven't really read anything with Vision in him. Like the first time I ever heard of him was in that movie. It's like they have Vision, and I'm like, who the fuck is Vision?
He had a short run of comics, I believe in the '80s, something like that. Then he had the Scarlet Witch and Vision comics. He was in the West Coast Avengers frequently, but other than that, I mean, yeah, he's not in.
So he's really no one. Okay.
Yeah. But
I feel better about not knowing who that is. Then.
He's a cool character. He has an interesting power set too, which is my favorite thing about him too. And they've kind of explored some of his power set, and I really want to see more of that. Like you don't see it all in Infinity War, unfortunately. You do see it a little bit in like Civil War and Age of Ultron, which Age of Ultron's still my least favorite.
Yeah, in the movies, he just seems to be like a psychic guy.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they do a lot more with those. Yeah.
Whereas Scarlet Witch is pretty powerful, actually, in the MCU. Like she was able to destroy an Infinity Stone.
Yeah,
but that is
Thanos
like
too.
nothing compared to how broken she was in
House of M.
Yes, thank you, House of M. That
100%.
whole fucking storyline where she just was like, yeah, I'm just gonna alter the entire fabric of the multiverse.
Yeah, no more mutants.
No more mutants.
So I'm excited to see that. Loki.
I would love to see the reverse of that, and that's how they bring in X-Men.
That's the theory. So maybe
Like House of M. Oh, okay, all right.
That is a theory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna deep dive into that stuff, but that is one of the theories. Like, so we'll see. It comes out January 15th, so I will be talking about it probably in February.
And I won't be watching it because I think you need Disney Plus or some shit, and I'm not getting that.
You can borrow mine if you want to watch it.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, but after that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out in March. I'm still gonna watch it. Just there's less craziness to it, so I'm not as excited.
Mm-hmm.
But the trailer looked really good. I'm more interested to see what they do with the mantle of Captain America than anything. Because like you said, those characters are kind of boring. Which they kind of are, but throwing the like what's going to happen with that mantle is like more interesting than the characters to me. So I'm definitely gonna be watching that.
Yeah, I like it when a character with a justifiable reason takes over the mantle of another hero.
Yeah.
Like Falcon taking over Captain America in the comics felt like right.
Yeah.
And Dick Grayson during Battle for the Cowl in DC taking over Bruce Wayne. Like, I honestly wish those characters just kept those mantles. Like, as crazy as it says, I wish the originals had remained dead, and like that's how we did it. Like,
yeah,
I'd love it if there was like more progression and comics weren't just like stagnant like that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
but on the other hand, like characters like Riri Williams or she wasn't the first one I was going to go to. Lady Thor. Jane Foster?
Yeah, Jane Foster, yeah.
Jane Foster. Those are just like, look, we changed our entire cast and made our cast more diverse. And I'm like, cool, but like, they didn't deserve those positions
So,
like Falcon did, or like Nightwing did.
it's funny that you mentioned Riri Williams because it's not on here, but they did announce a Ironheart TV show as well.
Oh joy!
Yeah. So that is, she's already cast and everything too. Another show that's actually not on here that I just realized was Armor Wars, which is
She's also a terrible person, though.
I know nothing about her, so.
Oh my god, she is awful to all of her friends and everyone she knows.
Neat.
Yeah.
But they also announced
she's like drunk. She's like on heroin, Tony Stark, but she's not on heroin, so she doesn't actually have an excuse.
Heroin's cool. But yeah, the other show that's not on here is Armor Wars, which is a very popular comic in the 90s. That actually had Iron Man in it, but he's not going to be in the TV show. It's actually going to be just War Machine. It's a story about Iron Man and War Machine basically fighting a whole bunch of armored villains because somebody steals Tony Stark's tech, and then everyone turns and gets like basically an Iron Man suit. So I'm super excited for that one, and it doesn't have a release date yet, but it's I believe they said 2022 for that one, and the Ironheart one. And there's another one that's also not on here, Secret Invasion, which actually stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn.
With the disguise aliens, like that whole arc.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm super excited for that because that's probably gonna be more of Skrull. Yeah.
Skrull.
So I'm excited to see that because it's going to be more of a crossover event than anything because it like the Secret Invasion they took over like a lot of heroes like right off the bat. So it's gonna be interesting to see a world without Captain America and Iron Man in it because they were like the first two in the comics that were like taken over. So it'll be different to see whom are the first couple of heroes. And I love Samuel L. Jackson, so anything with him and I'll watch. If they did a Mace Windu show, oof. I was gonna talk about Star Wars shit tonight too, but there's so much. That investors meeting was crazy. There's some Star Wars stuff later. But
do it next time.
Yeah, next time.
Make a note of it. Here, I'll even make a note of it. I'll write it in the. I'll make a note.
I'm not huge into Star Wars, so that's why I don't want to talk about Star Wars like too much because I'm like, well, I might get something.
I used to be super into Star Wars, but then I realized I only liked one of the movies, and they decanonized the expanded universe, which was the best part of it.
Fair.
So then I realized, you know what, Star Trek's better.
So yeah, after Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki's the next up in May, which that also looks pretty batshit crazy. It has to do with a lot of time travel stuff. Because
which one? Loki?
Loki, yeah. So if anyone's that's seen Endgame, spoilers, in one of the realities he gets away instead of getting taken by the Avengers at the end of the first Avengers movie. And it deals with that branch timeline, and it has a whole bunch of stuff with a TVA in it, which is the Time Variance Authority, which is very
I've never heard of ever.
Exactly. It's a super obscure like group of people who actually deal with like time crimes. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting where they go with it. The trailer ends with him actually dressed like DB Cooper. For those of you who don't know who DB Cooper was, he was a robber who actually stole like $200,000 and then jumped out of a plane and was never seen again, or the money wasn't ever recovered. It happened like the 50s or some shit. So I'm excited to see if he does more stuff like that, where like unsolved mysteries actually turn out to be Loki, because stuff like that's super interesting to me. So I would love to see where they go with that. The trailer was just absolutely nuts, so I'm very excited for that one as well.
It sounds like it would be fun, but it sounds inconsequential because I don't think there's a lot you could do with it.
That's I don't know yet.
Yeah.
So with the whole multiverse shit going on, anything's possible. Like they could potentially bring it back somehow. Um, they did reference like the Loki for President run too, which happened like 10 years ago, I think, like or whatever. Maybe it was I can't remember when that run come out. But there's like some stuff with of that. There's a whole bunch of stuff they're really pulling from. So like I don't know if it's just gonna be like one of those one-off stories, or actually they're gonna go forward with something like that. Because I do love Tom Hiddleston as a character, and having him killed off was very disappointing to me, but also made sense. But we'll see how that goes in May. As the only other trailer they really showed was the What If, which is a animated feature with just different what if scenarios.
It's the Marvel What Ifs, yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I'm excited for that one. The animation looks pretty top tier. I really like it.
So we don't know too much about the other shows then.
So Moon Knight, they announced a director. I don't remember the director's name. They didn't announce any cast. It was rumored that Oscar Isaac was actually going to play Mark Spector, which is pretty top tier casting in my opinion.
Moon Knight's a very popular like cult character, but he's not like I wouldn't call him a very popular character, but I would say like among his fans, he's a very popular character. I never really got too much into the character, despite his like popularity.
Yeah,
but
he's pretty cool. Yeah, it deals with like personality disorders. Like his character is like split personality or whatever. He has like 3 different personalities, or some shit. I don't know too much about him either.
Depends on the face of the moon.
Yeah. But Miss Marvel's another one. They already have casting for it.
So there's like 3 or 4 Miss Marvels. Would I be right in assuming Camilla Khan?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Camilla's fucking great.
Yeah. So that's actually being filmed right now. So that's actually coming out, I believe, at the tail end of next year or something like that. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I don't know too much about Camilla Khan, but from what I played in like Avengers and stuff like that, I was very centric to her character. I really liked her character a lot, so I'm pretty excited to see that. And then the last one was She-Hulk.
She's great. She's so fucking lovable.
Yeah. The last one.
Gwenpool tries to hit on her and just goes nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, the last one's She-Hulk, and we already got casting for that. I don't remember the chick's name, but she's from some show. But Mark Ruffalo is coming back. Also, the Abomination, Tim Roth, is coming back, who hasn't been seen in about 12 years since The Incredible Hulk. So that's super interesting to me. She, for those of you who don't know, She-Hulk is a lawyer in the Marvel Universe who gets a blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce Banner, and that's how she becomes She-Hulk.
She's so fucking great. There's so much you could do with the fucking She-Hulk show. Like, you could go fucking nuts with it. She-Hulk was breaking the fourth wall before Deadpool was, and, like, some of the fourth wall breaking powers she's demonstrated are far beyond anything Deadpool's ever done. For example, not quite like Gwenpool level, but no one is Gwenpool level with how hard she can break it. But yeah, no, She-Hulk's fucking great. I love her character. I'd be really interested to see where that show goes.
Me too. I'm pretty interested. They also said that some other lawyers might show
up.
I read
a great comic recently where Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Rogers, right?
Yep.
Captain America was accused of like an old like war crime back in like the 1940s. And he hires She-Hulk as his lawyer to help defend him. And then you find out that he also hired the prosecutor to prosecute him for this like civil crime, and the prosecutor is Daredevil. It's a fucking strip of a comic. It's just like She-Hulk and Daredevil in a lawyer battle.
Which is exactly what I'm hoping it happens in the show. Because Daredevil is finally free from Netflix, and they can use him in the MCU now.
Yeah.
So, when they were like, yeah, other lawyers might show up, I was like, fuck, it better be Daredevil.
It better be Daredevil. I don't even like Daredevil, but it was great to see it in the comics.
I actually really like Daredevil. I like his comics were good. Like his team ups with Spider-Man were always great. So I'm kind of pumped for that, like a lot. To see if he actually does show up and see if like what they do with his character and the MCU too.
Yeah.
But
And then Hawkeye. Yeah, we all try to forget about Hawkeye is on there.
oh yeah, that's right. I completely skipped over that. Hawkeye's also being filmed right now, and it stars.
You'll never get away from Hawkeye.
And it stars Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, and then Kate Bishop, who's played by Haley Steinfeld. Steinfeld.
So we have Dad Hawkeye, not daughter Hawkeye. Right.
Yeah.
Old man Hawkeye. Yeah.
They're making him deaf in the show too. I guess I don't know if something gonna happen in the beginning of the series where he becomes deaf. Which I hope so. If he just shows up and be like, yeah, I can't hear anymore. I'd be like,
hey, too many human earballs next to the explosions. And then I'm like, ooh, that's too real, Hawkeye. Yeah. That makes too much sense.
Stop.
Really bad to be that close to gunfire, actually. I never wear a hearing aid.
So that'll be interesting to see that. I hope they don't retire Hawkeye, because that would kind of suck. So I really like Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. So that would
why?
I don't know. I just like him as Hawkeye.
Fair enough.
He's like one of the like it's hard to say like I don't like with Hulk. It's like I obviously like Mark Ruffalo way more than Edward Norton because there's been actually then him and Eric Bana because there've been 3 separate people playing him. Same thing with Spider-Man. Like I can sit there and say like I like Tom Holland more than Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire is a treasure. Andrew Garfield sucked. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, so I do like Tobey a lot, but just Tom Holland, like I don't know, he's just like perfect for it.
I would say Tobey Maguire makes a good adult Spider-Man.
Yes.
Whereas Tom Holland makes a really good like teenage high school Spider-Man.
Which
Andrew Garfield can get the fuck out of here though.
Yeah. The teenage Spider-Man's always been my favorite one of the comics too. Because like he's a superhero, but he's also dealing with like teenage shit. So reading that as a teenager, like I always thought it was way more fascinating than like some of the older ones. Like I remember like when Spider-Man 2099 came out, I did not care about that at all. I was like, I don't
well, that wasn't even Peter Parker.
Yeah, it was Miguel O'Hara, yeah. But I still read them. Like I read that and like Hulk 2099 and a couple of the other ones that came out the 29.
All of the 2099 ones.
I only remember there was like what Hulk, there was Spider-Man, there was Ghost Rider, I think.
There's probably Punisher because I know there's a future Punisher bullshit comic.
Yeah, there was that one. There was I want to say Daredevil too. I don't remember.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them, but really they weren't that great.
Yeah.
2099 universe kind of sucked.
Yeah, we spent more time on this than I think we were intending. Unless there's any last notes, I think we should move on.
Yeah, no, that's basically it. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we got going on. So let's move it right along to the next one, which is nope. Stop it. Go away. Stop. See, we did it again. Nope.
Oops.
This one?
Yay! Did it again.
I found the right one. The Mandalorian. No, I'm not going to talk spoilers.
Fair enough. I haven't seen it.
But boy,
who is the Mandalorian? Is it Jango or Boba or someone else?
It is Din Djarin, who's a character created for the show. He actually does have a fantastic backstory. I'm not going to spoil anything from season 2.
That's great. I have so many questions. Explain Baby Yoda.
I'm gonna.
Is it actually Baby Yoda, or is it just the Yoda species?
It is the Yoda species. I'm not gonna get into.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get into the stuff, but it is not Yoda.
Okay. Did they finally name the Yoda species? Because it hasn't had a name since the creation of Star Wars.
They do not, but they named the actual child, which I'm also not gonna spoil.
Lame.
This season had so many good fucking cameos from other Star Wars characters. It like didn't even it by the end of the last episode, like I couldn't even register how good this fucking season was. There's only like one filler episode. Even the filler episode was like really good. Out of the 8 episodes they did, but if you're a Star Wars fan, I'd 100% recommend watching this. It's better than literally any Star Wars movie. Like season
That's
season 1 and
not
2.
a high bar.
It's really good.
You realize that they made one good Star Wars movie.
Okay,
maybe 2.
It's better than Rogue One, which is considered the best Star Wars movie.
That is not a high bar. Rogue One was trash.
It's better than Empire. It's better than all of them.
People really like Empire. Empire is not a great movie. It's just Luke on a fucking swamp planet almost the entire time. I'm calling out Empire. Yeah, sure, the ending's great, but most of Empire is just Luke on a swamp planet.
You're not wrong.
Get fucked, Empire. You know the one good Star Wars movie? Here's the one good Star Wars movie. The literal fucking first one. New Hope is the best Star Wars movie. It has a start, it has a stop, it has an end, it has character arcs for all the characters involved. No one spends 8 goddamn hours on a fucking swamp planet. There's no dumb bikini scene that doesn't need to be there. The plans all make sense. Fucking New Hope is the best Star Wars movie. Fucking fight me.
You're not wrong. I do like New Hope a lot. Like I do think that's like a top tier Star Wars movie. Like I actually like Return of the Jedi the most. That's like my favorite out of the original trilogy. Then A New Hope.
That is interesting. That's usually considered to be the worst of the originals.
I always like that one just because like it's the definitive end to the movie.
Yeah,
it's the definitive end to the Skywalker saga.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to say it again, but it's the definitive end.
No, yeah, no, agreed.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
That's where it stops. Yeah. The new movies are fucking terrible. I haven't even seen the newest one, but I have heard things.
It's really bad.
It was actually after the finishing the Star Wars Episode 8, where I realized, wow. And don't get me wrong, like I don't. Yeah, Rian Johnson fucking botched that movie, and he ruined Star Wars and everything. But I wasn't as like fervently passionate about how badly he ruined it as everyone else was. I wasn't like one of those crazy haters. It was just more like, wow, I did not like this, and this is just another Star Wars movie I have not liked in a long slew of Star Wars movies. And in fact, the answer is all of them except for New Hope. So, New Hope is the only one I liked, and that was when I realized, you know what? I've been saying I'm a Star Wars fan for the longest time. I'm a Star Wars Extended Universe fan.
That's fair.
I am not a Star Wars fan. I think most of the movies are terrible.
The only new trilogy one I like was The Last Jedi. That's the only one I liked, and the only part of the movie I didn't really care for was the casino scenes, because I thought they were unnecessary. But back to the Mandalorian. Like, if you want to see Star Wars continued the way it should have been, this series is the one. It's set 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
If you want to see how Star Wars should have been handled, watch the Clone Wars TV show.
That too. That's also very
that show is legitimately great, like start to stop. The last season is a little weaker, but up to that point, like fucking it starts weak and it ends weak, but like the middle part is so fucking good, and it gets weirdly gets so much more mature and in depth than any of the movies ever do. Like Rogue One's supposed to be like dark and gritty, but like there's no suicide bombers in Rogue One.
There's not.
Actually, there might be, but not in the same, like, no suiciding terrorists.
Yeah.
Like fucking Clone Wars gets into. I won't explain the context for that, but it explores the universe and it explores the characters. And you get to see Anakin's fall so much better than even in the third Star Wars movie. Like, it's just a great show.
Recommend it. But I also recommend this show. If you got Disney Plus, definitely watch it. If you don't have Disney Plus, borrow someone's login and watch it. It's really good. It's honestly like the best Star Wars thing I think that's out there, like live action wise.
Okay.
Live action wise, because there's a lot of love and care in this show. But Jon Favreau is one of the he's a writer on the show, and he has like a different director almost every week direct an episode, and each one of them like just and the first two seasons are very much intertwined with each other, which season 3 after the way it ends in season 2 is going to be like almost a completely different show. I'm not, again, no spoilers because can't spoil how good you just can't. Oh god, the way it wrapped up is really nice, like a nice little
Mandalorians are like a weird gold mine for Star Wars because anything that like ties into them heavily.
You broke up again.
There
we go.
Did I really? Am I still gone?
You're good. You're
okay.
Good now.
The actual best Star Wars things ever made was old BioWare games called Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
And they also tie in heavily to the Mandalorian Wars, and they are both fucking phenomenal. In fact, KOTOR 1 is generally what I would consider to be my favorite game of all time. So,
absolutely.
Just stick with the Mandalorians. Forget all of the Jedis. Everyone a Mandalorian. That's Star Wars' message.
No spoilers.
Sure. So no spoilers. Moving on.
Watch it. Definitely watch it. Or don't. But do.
Don't watch it. You're not allowed to.
Do it. I don't know. Okay, so that was that one. So the next one should be... Oh yeah.
You've made the mistake of this time talking about stuff I have opinions on. Now the podcast will never end.
So the next topic. I watched Harry Potter again for the second time. Number 1 and number 2.
Sorcerer's Stone, Philosopher's Stone.
That one. And the Chamber of Secrets, which is not about a vagina.
It isn't.
Which was depressing. Now I'm not a huge Potter guy. Like I don't know a lot about the universe. I've only
read the books 100 times.
Have you?
They used to call me Dumbledore in school.
It's a weird nickname.
It is.
So I don't have a huge attachment to these movies, but for what they are pretty decent movies. Like I don't hate them. The first one had some shoddy CGI in it, and then the second one, it looks like they put way more money into the budget, and the CGI just looked way better than the second one. I mean,
well, it got more popular.
Oh yeah, which
I believe the original idea was they were only going to make 4 movies, and then they made 8 because of how popular it got. Or technically, they made like 9 now.
That's true, yeah. Which I mean, great. I mean, the source material, like obviously, I'm not attached to it. But for what it's worth, like I like the world and I like the characters that are in it. It'll be interesting to watch all of them because I'm watching all of them with the girlfriend right now. Because the deal was I make you watch a shit ton of Marvel movies and I'll watch all the Harry Potter movies with you. So now I'm in that now. So that's what I'll be doing. I would have actually finished more of the Potter movies, but she for some reason lost Chamber of Secrets, so we had to rent it on Amazon Prime. So I probably would have watched at least 4 of them by now, but it'll give me more stuff to talk about next time. Definitely watch them. I mean, they're not really movies for kids. It's like weird. Like you want to say these are movies for kids, but
it's fun for the whole family.
It really is though. Like, cause like even as a 30, I hate saying that out loud, but 30-year-old man, I still enjoy these movies even though I don't really know the source material. It's just a fun world. I've always been attracted to anything with magic in it.
I feel the movies get worse past like I feel like 4 was the like turning point, and then like 5 onward they get a lot worse. But
from what I remember from the last time I watched them all for the first time, I want to say 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I can't remember. From what I remember, yeah, like 5 and on were kind of like bleh. I remember 4 was like the last one I really enjoyed, but
I remember the first Harry Potter movie is really good. The CGI, they didn't really have a lot of budget. Probably doesn't hold up.
it was very awful.
They changed Dumbledore every film.
Yeah.
But which became a joke over time. But yeah, I remember the first movie was really good. They made some minor changes, but they stuck pretty closely to the heart of the actual film. Without getting too much into the spoilers of it. And the second one, I don't like as much, but it might be because I've seen it like because it used to be they would play Chamber of Secrets on TV all the time, so I've seen it like 1,000 times, so I might have just soured on the movie itself because I'm sick of seeing it. So I'm not sure I'm the best judge to say Chamber of Secrets isn't as good as Sorcerer's Stone, because that might just be like, man, I want to stop watching this film again.
I will say I do like the first one more than the second one. The second one just feels like it drags in some spots.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get to the end, you're just like, oh, finally.
Yeah. They also ruin Ron. That's a big change from the book. Ron is like, in order to make Hermione seem smarter, Ron was made way dumber. So he's just kind of like a bumbling sidekick in the movies, whereas he was a lot more, because Ron is actually the thing about Hermione versus Ron is that in the books, Ron is smart, but he's not particularly knowledgeable, but he does know like wizard things that other characters wouldn't.
Yeah.
Whereas Hermione is like book smart, but she lacks like a lot of common sense, for example.
Yeah, which they kind of allude to that in Chamber of Secrets, where like Harry goes to his house and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is like normal shit, dude." I don't remember them bringing that up ever again in any of the future movies, though.
Well, when Hermione's called like a mudblood in the books, for example, it's actually Ron that like immediately just fucking punches Draco, and Hermione's like, I don't know, it sounded really insulting, and Ron's like, yeah, he basically called you the N-word, so I fucking decked him.
The magical equivalent of the N-word.
Yeah, well, his wand did backfire and he vomited slugs, I believe, in the book also. But yeah, he and she's like, I don't know, it sounded super insulting. I was not a fan. And when they talk about like Tales of the Beetle the Bard later on in like book 7, Ron's like, you fuckers have never heard of any of these stories, and they're like, no, Ron, we haven't. We're not fucking wizards. But he's also like, he's all in the books. He's like undefeated in chess. Like he fucking crushes everyone, which is why in like the first movie he like wins the chess challenge at the end of the movie,
and that's the only time you see it.
Yeah, like when Harry's staying over for the holidays, they describe him and Ron regularly playing wizard chess, and he fucking rips them apart. And like Hermione's like, I'll play a game with you, Ron, and Ron's like, okay, and he fucking rips her apart too.
And then they get married.
What the fuck is this bullshit? So yeah, Ron's usually in the books portrayed as smart, but like he does not study and does not know like bullshit wizard like like spells and stuff. Like he's not a good wizard, but he's generally intelligent. But in order to make Hermione seem like a brainiac, they made him way dumber in the movies.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch the rest of them. I don't have too much to say.
Mm-hmm. I recommend up to 3.
Good
well, I'll talk about all of them with you. I've seen them all also. I've even seen the new one, like Crimes of Grindelwald. But I realized what I had to say about that movie was it was bad, and that was about it.
I only saw Fantastic Beasts. I only saw that. I don't remember liking it though.
You shouldn't have. So
yeah, that makes sense. We'll probably talk about these 2 at a time. So next time we'll do 3 and 4, and we'll just keep going. I'm trying to space these out because I have so many movies on my fucking plate half the time.
I'll explain what they changed from the books that I remember.
I like that. So tune in next time for 3 and 4, Azkaban and Fire Goblets. Goblet of Fire, which has Twilight Kid in it. Hey, Twilight Kid.
Oh yeah, Cedric Diggory.
Yeah, he dies.
Spoilers.
It's a 20-year-old book. Who gives a fuck?
like a legitimate moment in the book, by the way.
Is it?
Like, yeah, because Cedric is like a really nice guy, and Harry gets to know him, and they actually become friends. Like, Harry would not have made it that far into the competition. He would have fucking died during the the Goblet of Fire trials.
Yeah.
Without Cedric Diggory. Like, you get to know him and you get to like him, and at the end, like, Harry and him are like, we'll fucking hit it at the same time. And Cedric's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking tie, my boy. And then, like, just fucking port key. We don't, and then you hear, like, the voice, we don't need the other one. And then it's just dead. And you're like, oh fuck.
Oh shit.
Like, there's no lead in. It comes out of nowhere, and this like cool dude that you like got to know over the course of the book is just gone
fucking
instantly.
Dead.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. So yeah, next time we'll talk about the other ones. So that's all I got for that right now. So the last one is the nope. This one? Nope. This one? Yeah, music. So unfortunately with a year of staying inside, we unfortunately don't have a lot of new music to talk about, at least from my side of things. This band, Before I Turn, released half of this album earlier this year, and then they released.
I feel like I've heard of them.
They're from Connecticut, so they're actually very, very close to my neck of the woods. And they released half of this at the beginning half. I believe it came out in March. I thought it was just gonna be an EP. I fell in love with it. It was great, and then out of nowhere, at the end of November, they're like, psych! And then they drop literally 7 more tracks for this album. And it's like, it's one of those albums that's like, it's like a whole fucking story from beginning to end, which are my favorite type of fucking albums. And they like remastered some of the tracks too, which sounds like really, and so some of the tracks actually sound really, 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 really good. Whereas like before they were still really great, but they added some like extra production to some of the tracks and made it sound like way better. Which I thought was a fucking smart move, especially some of the legions to some of the songs. I'm not gonna go too far in depth with it. There's 14 tracks on it. It's an hour and 1 minute long. But if you like heavier music, I definitely would check it out. These guys live literally like 20 minutes away from me, which is really funny. And I've known about them from being in the local scene for a while. These guys have been around for at least, I want to say 8 years now, and they're finally getting some traction in like the music community and stuff like that. And they really deserve it because and the vocalist is really good. He's a really good singer. He's a really good vocalist. The guitar players are fucking ridiculous. I believe the vocalist also does like the synth production on the albums too. I'm not sure. I would have to double check that. Like they're just a talented group of guys, and they definitely deserve some more credit. I actually gave this album my #1 spot for album of the year. This year, because just the way it came all together was it was fantastic. It probably would have ended up #2 regardless, like just being the EP that it was, but just adding these extra tracks and more of that story to it really, really helped this album and really brought it to my #1. Which nobody will probably see that list because it's on my personal Facebook. But God, it's really good. If you like the heavier music, definitely check it out. It's on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit, YouTube. Check it out. It's good. But
so I will say this is a really cool album cover.
I love
kind
it.
of looks like a dark mirror and a with like the moon in it. I really like the aesthetic of it. Reminds me of it kind of reminds me of a Sailor Moon villain, if I'm being honest, but like a cool one. It reminds me a little bit of like Nahelenia. But it also reminds me of the D&D deity Sehenin Moonbow. So Take that as a compliment before I turn. But here's the main question I have: what the fuck is the name of this album? Because it looks like it says Lovelorn, and I cannot read that. I assume
that's my bad. It's Lovelorn. I didn't mention that once. So originally the EP was called Lovelorn Moon, which is funny they mentioned the moon.
Explains the album cover. Yeah.
Because it was just part of it, part of the album. So when they came out with the full album, it was just Lovelorn. Was the name of the album. Just fantastic what they did. Just being like, hey, here's like 5 or 6 songs to keep you guys held over, and then bam, here's the other 8. They're just gonna slap it right in your face real quick.
Kind of reminds me of what happened with like Life of Pablo.
Yeah, like they didn't make any hype for it. They were just like, one day I just was going through Spotify and I was like, oh, check out new music from artists you know, and I'm like, what do you mean? And so I like looked and it was like the full album. And I'm like, oh, I see what you did there. Okay, I like surprise releases like that. They always hit better. But yeah, check it out if you like it. If you don't, that's cool.
Yeah.
Not my
okay.
Shit. I believe it is time for everyone's favorite part of the show.
Is it? Okay. Because you just wrote music, so I wasn't sure if you had any other. I was going to be like, all right, it's time to kick into the last segment. And then I'm like, oh, no, wait a minute. He might have more albums.
I don't... nothing that came out recently. I've been listening to a lot of the, the same old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not too much talked about in the music world, but
oh, I listened to the Tyler the Creator album Bastard. It was all right. I mean, he's got some interesting flows and beats, but I don't really feel like I feel like he kind of hammers that one point home the entire time, and it gives you the idea that it's like, yeah, I'm a troubled kid and I miss my dad, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't developed enough. Like, I feel like the point was overmade and not, like, fleshed out fully. We don't have a thing for Bastard because I wasn't planning to talk about it, but I'm like, oh, well, we're here. I technically listened to an album, so fuck it.
Go for it.
So, that's my review of Bastard. I feel like it had potential, but he didn't quite get there.
That's fair, yeah. I do give that album a perfect 10 out of 10, by the way.
Forlorn Love, right? Not Bastard.
Yeah, no, not
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Lovelorn gets a perfect 10 out of 10 score for me.
I give Bastard like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, lyrically it's phenomenal. Like music, instrumentally it's perfect. Like it's heavy when it needs to be. It's clean when it needs to be, and it just like the production on this album is like ridiculous. Yeah, 10 out of 10. And out of Fruit Loop.
I don't know what that means, but you clearly sounded like you did.
I don't know what that means either, but
okay. Well, we all collectively are confused by that headshot. But yeah, all right. Sorry, I kind of cut you off to talk about my music. So
no, that's fine. So
I haven't had a topic in a while. Damn it.
All right, let's get into the main event, which is Anime Dartboard, which we watched The Boy and the Beast. What are your initial thoughts?
Oh, well, no intro where we explain what Anime Dartboard is. We just right into it.
No,
you don't know what Anime Dartboard is? Fuck you. Okay, Boy and the Beast. Yeah, from the acclaimed director of Wolf Children. I thought it was a lot like Wolf Children.
Never seen.
Not as like a movie. But actually, yes, as a movie, because it does have the dumb, it goes one direction and then turns in the opposite direction at the end, just like Wolf Children does, where like the kid years and then you hit the teen years and the teen years are like, fuck it, I'm going to do something completely different to show character development, where it like shows that character development happened, but most of the character development is off screen and you don't actually see it.
Yeah.
But in like Boy and the Beast, I feel the same way as Wolf Children. I feel like I understand why people like it, and I feel like why people would say it's a good movie. I was not a fan of this. So that's my initial thoughts. What are your initial thoughts, I guess, before we get into these meat and potatoes?
Out of the the 5 different things that we watched, this is my number 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I enjoyed this movie. I thought there was some pretty good animation. Like you said, like the stuff off screen, like kind of like irked me and annoyed me a lot. So I'm like, okay.
You actually cut out for me during that point. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was saying like the stuff where they just like time skip and you're just like, okay, all that development, like where did that go? That like that did irk me, but
bad case of tell not show in this movie.
Yeah.
I felt like
I feel like if this was a series, it would have been a lot better because you could have fleshed into a lot of stuff more. But given it was what 2-hour movie, right? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I can find out definitively in like half a second. I have the tab up.
Yeah.
Hour 59.
Hour 50. Yeah. So, I mean, with the time that they had, like it is what it is. But I really wish it was more of a series than a movie. Because
that's actually a good point, and I could kind of say that about Wolf Children too.
Yeah.
Like you could probably make a better version of both Boy and the Beast and Wolf Children if you like stretched it out to like a 12-episode series and made it more of a like a slow-paced Yashike kind of thing.
No, 100%. I agree with that. Just because like if they would have taken more time on certain characters, I would have cared more at the end, I guess.
I would have liked if they explored the world better as well. Like, they give you the points that the movie's like, here's this point, and this point, and this point, and this point, but they don't explore the implications or what they mean from it. They just tell you exactly enough to meet the plot, but it not enough to make the world feel alive or to make it feel like you understand it or belong in it.
Correct. Yeah, like they go on that like travel sequence where they go to all the other kings, right? Lords?
Yeah, and what's up with that fucking alley? I don't think they ever explained that. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention because it was kind of bored, but what the fuck is up with that alley?
So, from what I remember, it's been 2 weeks since I watched this, but my recollection is
like
if you
4 or 5 for me.
Jesus. From what I remember, if you go down the alley a certain way, it transports you to this land. Like like a certain sequence of turns and
why?
I don't. Who knows, dude?
That's my point.
and that was definitely another thing that irked me too.
Yeah, that's what I mean by I feel like it doesn't explain itself. It tells you you're gonna need to know this for the story to continue, and I'm like, cool. And then it's like, what else? And it's like, oh no, you're gonna need to know that for the story to continue. And I'm like, yeah, but do you want to explain what any of this is about? No, I don't. You just need to know that. Yeah, a lot of character development happens off screen.
It does.
And like, I don't know. I just feel like the relationships could be like better done as well. Like you slowly start to see the boy and the beast, Bear Man, like get together, and then it time skips, and then they're at odds with each other all of a sudden again. And it's like, okay, you've undone the 5 seconds you've spent on making them close. Are we just supposed to assume they were close the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also makes an interesting decision to use the story of Moby Dick as a allegory for fighting with your inner demons. Yeah. Which is an interesting decision because the general concepts associated with Moby Dick are obsession and man versus nature. Like, that's usually what is associated with Moby Dick. So using the whale from Moby Dick to represent your inner demons is felt to me like just an excuse to throw in a giant whale monster at the end. Because there's a similar piece of literature written at the same time that actually deals with your inner demons, and it's called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
You're not wrong.
And it's like, why the fuck not just do... And by the way, I said Jekyll because that's how you're supposed to pronounce that name. But, like, why not just do Jekyll and Hyde? The only reason is so they could add in a creepy whale monster, which I believe might be a reference to the Japanese Kujira yokai. But it's like, yeah, but okay, but like, why though? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they could have done Jekyll, but it would have just been the NES cart of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is one of the worst games ever. So that would have been way more scarier if they did that.
Yeah, it's such a weird decision. And then the boar kid being like, "Oh, he's actually a human," and it's like, okay, so why did Kumatetsu get shit on for adopting a human kid if the other guy also has a human kid? And also, when and why did you adopt a human kid?
Well, they explain that, yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
He just finds him, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's
that's terrible.
They're like, hey, there's awful. A babe. They're in the human world or whatever, and they just see him in a basket, and they're like, well, I'm gonna take you home.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this fucking baby. Yeah, no, that's fucking terrible. And like you talked about the animation, and I mean it's movie animation. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, of course it's good. They had the fucking time and budget for it. But it's like if you look at the fight scenes, they'll take like 5 and 10 minutes, and they just the way to do a good fight scene is to have a point that you are making. Either have it as a back and forth as an argument, or to demonstrate the superiority of a specific fighter. Yeah. You know, that so much of the fight scene is just wasted time of just like, look at our cool fight animation. It's like, yeah, look at your cool fight animation. You're not doing anything. Nothing is happening in this fight. People are getting hit, but no one's taking damage. It doesn't fucking matter.
So it's funny that you mentioned that, because I love Dragon Ball Z, and the Dragon Ball Broly Super movie, that happens a lot in the movie. That happens a lot. So it's funny. It's funny one of the worst movies. So yeah, and there's in the fight animation
the Super Broly movie is considered to be okay. I thought you were talking about the original Broly movie, where everyone is like, Broly's cool, but also fuck him.
Yeah, I don't consider those movies anymore, because the new one's like way better, and I think Broly's a way better character in the Super version.
Actual movies.
Yeah, and so like you were saying, like the fight animation is like top tier, but it's like they're not doing anything.
Nothing is happening. It definitely feels weaker, and the characters. I don't even remember how it ends, which is not a good sign. I forget if he goes back to the human world and he just now has a sword or some shit. I don't remember.
That's like literally what happens.
Okay then, yeah.
So should we talk full spoilers?
We're always talking full spoilers.
Fair enough.
Why is a fucking book club? If you didn't watch the movie, why the fuck are you in my book club?
I just want to read. What I'm gonna do is I took notes during this.
Okay.
Mostly because it's a new thing I'm trying to do, so I can remember more of it. I'm just gonna read down my list of notes real quick. So I have number 1, daddy issues.
The main character, yeah.
Yes. Number 2, the bear.
That's actually pretty cool though.
His dad is pretty chill. Yeah. Number 2, the bear has a Sharingan from Naruto.
Does he? It's probably a Mitsudomo.
Yeah, it's like
a classical Japanese symbol. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it looks like, and I'm like,
I think I remember that. I think I remember laughing at that when I saw it.
I definitely laughed at that.
I understand the idea of the symbol, but you have to, as a creator, you have to understand that just because it is a classical symbol does not mean you can get away with using it that way anymore. The symbol has been adopted.
Oh yeah.
Like the swastika is like a symbol of like peace and unity, but if you slap a fucking swastika on a red flag, you cannot reclaim it.
You can't.
You can't. It's now a Nazi symbol. I'm sorry. Yes, they ruined it, but like, I'm sorry. Similarly, you put a fucking Mitsudomo in someone's eyes, I'm sorry.
That's Naruto.
It's done. It's done. It's gone now.
I laughed like really hard at that when I saw that. I'm like, okay, this movie is only 5 years old, so they must know what they're doing.
Yeah. You can't do that anymore.
Then number 3 was 2 worlds connected, but can only be accessed by taking a certain path.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
That's pretty common.
Digimon does it. Digimon does
dates it. Back to Digimon. Yeah, I was gonna go with Digimon and not fucking ancient whales, but sure.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing.
Number 4 was food porn. Number 5
Okay.
was Lord Bunny Can Teleport.
Yeah, I actually think the discussions with the spirit guides were actually the coolest and best part of the movie. Like the advice they actually gave him was really solid, even if it was all different. Because there's a lot you can like get out of that. Like not just like him as a character, but like you as a person.
Yeah.
So that was actually probably my favorite part of the movie was just going around, and I wish the whole movie was that.
That's what I'm saying. If it was a series, it could have
Yeah, it could have been. They could have dedicated time.
Yeah, but they didn't. The next one was bullying, just bullying.
Yeah, just general. Yeah,
Just general bullying. The next one was kid can't hop through trees.
I don't remember this.
It was the part where they're going. They are going to the I believe one of the lords, whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, can't you hop through trees?" And he's like climbing up them. He's like, "No, I can't." And I'm like, damn.
I'm a small child.
Yeah, it was because the next note I have is true strength is, which is that part that you were just talking about where he goes all around.
Oh, I jumped the gun. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. The next one was Ghost Lady, which I don't even remember now.
I don't remember. Yeah. I think I remember something about it, but I don't remember the context.
I can't remember. The next one is Bear Thong, because he, for whatever reason, wears nothing but a thong for that one scene.
Fundoshi, probably, right?
Yes.
Classic Japanese underwear.
Yes. Then the next one was great fight animation. Yeah. Then I Am 12. Because he does state that it's like what 5 years and now he's 12, which he looks like he's at least 16. So I don't buy for a second that he's 12 years old.
Wait, was he supposed to be 16 at the end of the movie?
No, he was 12.
At the end of the movie?
That's what, according to my notes, he was 12 for the rest of the movie. Because the time jump was only 5 years. And
how old was he when he was kidnapped? Motherfucker looks like Akira from Devilman.
He looks like...
There's no goddamn way he was 12.
I think
he was 9 years old, so what's 9 plus 5?
So he's he's 14. Okay.
Okay.
Well, why does he say he's 12 then?
He probably said he was 12, and then there was another time skip. There were multiple time skips. There's like 3 of them.
Oh, okay. Okay, apparently I missed that. My next note is Boy Can't Read, which I thought was hilarious.
Makes sense, though.
Dad, question marks, followed by more daddy issues.
He was 9.
Yeah.
He was 9. You should be able to read something.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it didn't make sense.
You're reading in Japan before you're 9.
Exactly, because...
I mean, granted, the Japanese reading system is one of the most complicated of all languages. Not the most, but it's really high up there. But you should be able to read literally something.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then I have creepy boy ghost / creepy teen ghost, which I don't remember that either. I don't remember the ghost apparently.
Yeah, nobody does.
And the next one is possible rape scene, which is when he corners her or whatever. Yeah. For some reason I have Anakin ?
Okay.
Which, I'm assuming it means Anakin Skywalker.
No, it's a different Anakin.
It might be
Anakin Jambalaya.
Holes in human hearts, which is a very common thing in a lot of different animes, actually.
It's a common theme in all media. Period.
Yeah. Raw XD.
There's like a big thing about BoJack about it also.
That is true. Yeah, BoJack's really good. I actually finally. We should have talked about that. Missed opportunity. I finally finished it. Yeah.
You want me to make a note for next time?
Yeah, I finally finished that. Yeah. Then I have Raw XD because what's his name looked very emo at the end of the movie.
Yes.
I do have a note about one of the fight scenes. Sword kick followed up by punch to the face, which I thought was actually very well animated. It was during the fight with what's his name, right?
Other guy, Tiger Man or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. Boar Man. Yeah,
Boar Man.
Yeah, Boar Man. Yeah,
Boruto.
Because he's boring. Yeah. That fight scene was actually like.
Eosin.
Really good. Yeah. Yeah. Then the last one is Crazy Emo Boy Kills Bear. Has weird hate for no reason.
He's jealous. That makes sense.
It makes sense, but
he really associated with his adopted father and his pride for his adopted father, and he sees Kumatetsu as just like a shitty vagabond who doesn't deserve the position and isn't worth anything, and extends that to like his like shitty non-monster son in his eyes, whatever the main character's was. And so when Kumatetsu actually wins, he goes fucking berserk because his whole worldview is shattered.
Yeah.
And it proves that maybe his father wasn't as great as Kumatetsu, and like everything he thought was wrong. So no, his freak out makes sense. I'll support that.
That's fair. I just feel like it could have been flushed out a little bit more. That's what I'm saying. If this was a series, like even if it was like a 12-part series, like episodes were like 23
Well,
minutes
if it was
long
a series,
standard.
the animation quality would go down though.
Yeah, I would sacrifice that.
The only studio that can maintain movie level animation in a TV series is Kyoto Animation. Like no one else can do it because no one else has the time, money, and talent to do it.
Yeah, because I don't hate this world, but it's a very rushed world.
It's very shallow.
Yeah, like if it was fleshed out more, like if I knew more backstory for Kumatetsu, that would have been really cool. Like if I got to see more of Ren's training and him growing up, like that would have been cool. Like the whole training scene where he's like, "Yeah, do the thing with the sword." Like, yeah, I want to see him learn that. Like I thought I was gonna see that. I didn't see that, unfortunately.
He does it at the end.
He does it at the end, but we don't see him learn it.
Right? No, he learns it at the end though, because then he has a soul in his heart.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
No, yeah, that arc is wrapped. Yeah. Yeah. As far as the world goes, it feels like they made a world, but it doesn't feel like it feels like a very shallow world. Like even if you're not able to properly develop a setting, what your goal is to, and you can't properly develop the setting. A goal should be to make it feel like there is more to the world, and that you just are only seeing a part of it. A great example of this is the first John Wick movie, where there's all these hints and stuff that you clearly can tell is important and that there's more going on here, but the movie's not focused on that. Like, you can tell that the world is deep, even if you're just wading in the shallows. In this world, it felt like the world was shallow and we were still in the fucking shallows, because they literally did not put in enough thought to make a deep world. They just didn't do it. That's how I felt.
No,
I felt like there was not more to the world.
I wish it would it's something that maybe they would revisit. Maybe do like even a continuation where like they do like another movie maybe, and there's like more flashbacks to that point in time, and like kind of like fill in the gaps a little bit. I would watch that. Like I didn't hate this, but there was a lot of flaws to it, which really sucks, because like when I first started up the movie, I was like, wow, I'm really gonna like this. Like this looks good, you know. The voice acting was really good in it too. Like there's only one really popular person in it, like Eric Vale, who does the adult version, or I guess you would call him the adult version of Ren. I actually don't know the John Swayze, who does Kumatetsu. I've probably heard him before, but I don't think he's like super popular. But like other than that, like there's
he's the main villain of Hiroaka.
Oh really?
Well, no. But he's the main villain's teacher in Hiroaka. He's all for one.
Oh, is he really? Okay, that's what I was like.
He's actually in a bunch of shit. He's a farmer.
Yeah, because I was like, I knew I heard this guy's voice before. I just couldn't pinpoint it.
He was the farmer in Kai. Farmer with a shotgun.
Was he really?
He was farmer with a shotgun.
Hey, you! Okay, perfect.
Yeah, no, he's he usually he's mostly in supporting roles. He was von Hohenheim in FMA. He's in a lot of shit going down his list.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Usually
now,
not in like a major role though.
Yeah,
Yeah, this list goes on forever.
it does. Yeah, not a lot of
Undertaker. Yeah, he was Telgary in Le Chevalier Dion. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. Actually, that went on for longer than I thought, and I don't want to slow us down. But yeah, Studio Chizu has made one movie after this, which was Mirai no Mirai, and they're apparently making another movie called Ryutu Sobakatsu no Hime. So yeah, I would not look forward to a continuation of this because I don't think they're gonna make it. But
yeah, I mean, it would be cool if they did. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see more of the world that like fleshed out because I feel like there's potential there for it to be something good. It just with the time allotted, it can't be good because they have to skip over a lot of shit.
You might want to try watching a movie called Wolf Children, made by the same director.
Yeah.
Which is, I would almost argue, probably better than Boy and the Beast. But I wasn't big into that movie either, right? But I could definitely see why people would like it.
That's fair, yeah. You want to get right into ratings? Or do you got any more to say about it?
No, I had very little to say about this movie. I do not have a strong opinion. I wasn't particularly invested.
Fair. I'm going to come in at a 6.
I am also going to come in at a 6. I know I mostly shit-talked it, but I did like watching the relationship between like the main character and the girl and watching them come together as sort of their own thing. And I felt like there was heart to the movie and the relationships, which I think is what I appreciated. It's a comfy movie, but it's not an excellent movie. So I'd give it like a nice 6 out of 10.
Yeah. I would say it's a good starter movie too for someone who's looking to get into maybe anime and stuff too, because it's not like you can pay attention to the movie and still know what's going on with it. And but like I said, like this would have been better as a series than a 2-hour movie. Like if even if it was like an 8 episode series, like I feel like it would have been fared a little bit better. Like given the animation dip, like the animation, the voice acting, and some of the character moments, the only like redeeming qualities of this. So I feel like even if you take away that animation and give more character moments, like it probably would have fared better and probably would have been like a higher, maybe even 8 if you had more time with these characters, because they're good characters. They just weren't fleshed out enough.
Yeah. All right. Do you think we're ready?
We're ready.
Okay, I've already placed it. We're gonna shuffle. Shuffle. Come on, baby. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
What do we got?
I have no fucking idea.
I've never heard of that one. I'll have to check it out.
Gakko Garashi?
Magical Warfare 2.
Oh my god! What? Oh my god!
What is it? Is it a stinker?
I know oh my god. I'm gonna... okay, Gakko Garashi is also known as School Live. It came out in summer 2015, made by Studio Lurch, and directed by Masaomi Ando, who also did a bunch of shit that most... He did Scum's Wish, I think is probably going to be the most famous thing he's made, is he did Scum's Wish, for all you Scum's Wish fans. So, not a well-respected director. It is 12 episodes long, and let me internally, gonna need you to entertain the audience. It's based off of a manga. Let me internally read. I'll try and get the image for you. Actually, for you, I'll post it in Discord real quick. Okay, let me real quick read the what. Okay, yeah, because they did this by Mal Rewrite.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, I'm not gonna read I'm not gonna read this full description. Because it does contain the spoiler that I was wondering about. Yuki Takaya loves her school so much that she does not want to ever leave. Meguro High School is a unique and lively place where Yuki enjoys her carefree life as a third-year high school student and member of the School Living Club. The club, consisting of President Yuri Wakasa, the athletic Kurumi Ibusuzawa, the mature junior Miki Naoki, and the supervising teacher Megami Sakura, and the club dog Torumaru, prides itself on making the most of life at school. And there is more to the description, but I will not read it. Because because I am avoiding a very specific spoiler about School Live. And let me just say, I am so excited about this one.
Oh, okay. So
I am genuinely looking forward to watching this show.
Is it a good one? Is it good?
It should be. It should be a good one. Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting.
It's 12 episodes. We have like 2 weeks to watch it, so hopefully I get through Cyberpunk pretty quickly so I can actually invest my time. But yeah, I am gonna watch the shit out of this. I'm looking forward to this fucker.
Hopefully it'll be easy to find the English dub.
Oh yeah. I'll see if I can find it for you.
Yeah, I'll search my Funimation and my Verve and all that.
Yeah. It's probably Funimation. But I actually forget. I think Mal did add licensors to Sentai Filmworks.
Hentai Filmworks?
So, Sentai Filmworks. So, I don't know. We'll look around for it. But anyway, yeah. I'm fucking looking forward to School Live. I'm excited about this one. I've seen the first episode, but I put it on hold for like the longest time because I think I was rewatching Monogatari at the time. But I'm excited. I'm gonna finally. I bet we finally hit a good one.
Well, Wizard Barristers was pretty good.
Wizard Barristers was okay.
I liked it.
I think we finally hit a good one.
It is not on Funimation.
It is not. All right. Maybe it's on Verve.
I'll check it
out. I'll see if we can find something. But yeah. So yeah. All right.
So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be on Sax channel.
Yes.
We'll
be seeing a little Torchic. Yeah, we had to reschedule twice this time. But for obvious reasons. But my objective is to get back on the proper schedule. So
yeah.
Even though we're almost no time has passed, you better watch this fucking 12-episode series as fast as you fucking can.
I'll watch it at work. That's where I get all my watching done.
Let's talk to the audience. You want to participate in fucking book club? Get that shit done.
Get it done, man.
Yeah, inject that fucking School Live. But yeah, all right. Anything to add, John?
No, it's on School Live. Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. Yeah, it's subtitled though.
It's on Crunchyroll. Cool.
It's only sub though, so I'll try to find it somewhere else.
Okay. All right. Maybe Netflix or something.
Nope. It says 2 seasons though.
Oh, does it say 2 seasons? We're only watching season 1.
Okay.
There is not 2 seasons.
Oh no, okay. It just says 2 seasons because one subbed and one stubbed. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there's an ONA, but yeah, there is not 2 seasons.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I got the right one. So
there's talk about making a season 2. But it does not currently exist.
Add it to watch list so I can watch that. But anyways, we'll see you. Sack, where can they find you? Oh, okay. Thank you, Headshot. You as well. You stay safe.
Stay safe.
So like I said earlier, January will be a return after the holidays. I will start doing normal schedules. We'll start with some JRPGs, so feel free to pop in my Discord, chat it up with me and stuff like that. I'm not going away forever, just for another couple more weeks. Zach dropped that link.
Oh yeah. I don't have it ready. I wasn't expecting that. I feel like everyone knows that I exist at this point. I'll be doing probably Kingdom Hearts tomorrow. That's my goal, and then Digital Devil Saga, which is a Megami Tensei game, on Monday, and then maybe I'll pick up more stream time later. But I'm just having fun right now, and I kind of really am focusing on Cyberpunk, which I will talk your fucking ear off.
I'm excited because I can't play it, unfortunately, so I'm very excited to hear about that game.
You can't play it because of consoles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. They're literally broken on them. But yeah, so
But
I have opinions about it.
yeah, it looks fun. My
Mhm.
PC can't handle it.
Apparently, most people can't.
That's fair. Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laos Van Hoon. We're CPU is great if it works, bad for the console post.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts and Digital Devil Saga Sunday, Monday. Hopefully, I'll pick up some more time next week. I kind of want to, but yeah, I think I'm good. Torchic next week.
Yeah, Torchic. Yeah, Torchic next time. When I come back, we'll do some JRPGs. And we'll do some Sunday stuff too, which will be random stuff. So pop into my Discord, say what up. Give some suggestions for some Sunday games, some JRPGs you guys want to see. Really looking forward to that. It's gonna be like a 3 to 4 month event of just nothing but JRPGs on the channel. You'll honk, hell yeah. But anyways,
I also have a Discord that you can get to from my Twitch channel that I haven't linked. If you wanna party there, it's actually very active for Discord.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's small, but
really
like people pop up. Like there's conversations every day in there. So
I drop a T here, one or two every once in a while. I read a lot of them. Like I'm not very active in Discord, but I'm reading a lot of the Discord stuff that goes on.
yeah,
that's what I do. I just lurk in Discord right now and just read a whole bunch of shit.
fair enough.
Occasionally drop a T here too, you know. But anyways, everyone stay safe. Have a very happy holiday, no matter what your holiday is. Enjoy it and spend time with the family, and we'll see you soon.
All right, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.